I'm ready.
Everyone, we are live again this Saturday night, y'all. It is Saturday night. We about to rumble. It used to be a WW. I think WWF used to come on Saturdays. It used to be Saturday Night Rumble. Was it Saturday
They
Night
had
Rumble or
a
Monday
Royal
Night Rumble?
Rumble. They had a Royal Rumble. I was like
Yeah,
one.
but like the Saturday night joint, they used to have like a Saturday night joint. I forgot what they called it. But we are
Yeah.
live, back again, Dynast and the Genesis, everyone. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Tour, Sierra Leone, April. You want to roll? Hit me up. Also, August, Nigeria. We got some things coming down the pipeline. Rebranding the tour company. Looking forward to that. That process is almost done. It's almost done. It's been taking a while, but it's almost done. Without further ado, we got brother Genesis on with us today. And today's topic, I've been hearing a lot and seeing a lot of this. We are Native American Hebrews from America, rhetoric coming from ADOS and FBA now. I
Yeah.
thought the claim was that you're descendants of slaveries,
Yeah. Man.
descendant of slaves, but
Very
now,
unfortunate.
or
Very
descendant of
unfortunate.
slavery, but
Very unfortunate.
now Native American.
Mm-hmm. But not only
So
that,
what are if
that
that and listen, if you're watching this, I'm gonna open up the lines probably like 30 minutes. If you want to call in, if you're ADOS FBA and you are a Native American, please call in because
yeah,
please
I want to speak
explain
to
to
you.
me and make it make sense. But go ahead, Carla.
Dr.
Got that
Colin,
the claim was that you came over on slave ships and your bones are buried over here, and we have a unique claim because we came on slave ships. Now you're saying you're Native American. So I'm confused now. I'm
I'm
lost.
very confused, but I think we're going to get to the truth today, the bottom of this today, because I have a lot of questions I need to clarify. And I know that I've been watching the ADOS movement for the last few weeks, right? And I noticed I'm hearing everything. There's no one coherent message. You know what I'm saying? There's no one coherent message, right? On one hand, they said we are the victims of chattel slavery. America slave. Chattel means somebody brought you from one place and kept you in chains like an animal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bottom line is there's no record of indigenous people being chattel because you can only be a chattel when you're in captivity, when you're taken from your land. You know,
Right.
you cannot go to another land and enslave somebody.
Right.
That's never happened in history. You know, slavery happens when you take somebody out of their land, right, and put them in a system which they have absolutely no power. That's what it is. So there was so the indigenous people of North America never experienced that because they had power. They had numbers in the majorities. You know,
Right.
the African, right? The African was rejected by both the white community and the indigenous community here to be a slave at the bottom of this social order in America, right? Now, some people were saying that history is so painful that a lot of people were like, "Yo, look, like, so you gotta say something. All this stuff comes from prison, man, Diane, right?
Right.
Let me tell you a little background, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. All of this stuff comes from the prison system.
it all comes from prison, street prison, garbage,
All
and
the all the
everything.
pseudo stuff comes from the
All the
prison
pseudos
system.
come from prison. They all come from people who aren't educated, whatever, like that. And they're very good con men. They're good at con men and convince you that they know what they're talking about. You know, they will even go so far as to get a degree, right? Because on one hand, the white man's institutions ain't shit. White man's institutions, right? Then they go ahead
Right.
and get a degree to validate their nonsense. But what
Right.
you never hear is a peer review of anything they're talking about. But they don't want you to talk. When you say peer review, oh, they right away they bully you, they
Right.
browbeat you, and threaten. The thugness comes out of them and everything like that. Like Dane Cowell was a thug guy, you know. And the bottom line
Right.
is why? Because they in their minds, right? In their minds, right? This is a sad thing about America. This is a sad thing about America. What the white man has done to us a long time, right? As much as he done all the shit he done to us, he made us hate our ancestors and hate our African lineage more than we hate him. He made us love him, right, and want to be like him. That's why we always root for America every time, right? We believe in American
Right.
exceptionalism. We like this, right? But here's the thing. Now, when black people say, you know something, I don't care. Well, the Pan Africans is basically saying America is just a little speck on the universe. You know, a little speck. We could do more by building with Africa, which everybody knows is the truth. If we basically had strong political ties with the African continent, and we were able to get contracts, government contracts, and do things on the continent. America, the opportunity in America would not even compare, compared to what we can do on the continent. This is why it's important for people who believe that they're Indigenous Americans, people who are ADOS, FBA, to try to attack the only thing that cancels what they're saying is our Pan-African connection, So when you say you're Pan-Africans, right, you're saying there's an alternative to America, right? These people right here in the FBA, ADOS, they're not trying to solve anything. They're trying to create the illusion that they're going to solve something. And what do? They convince enough people who have low IQ and that they really have a plan to get so-called reparations. There's no plan. There's no logistical way you can.
Yeah, but how can you get reparations if you're indigenous to this land now?
Right. That's what that has this complicated, right? On one hand, you have the let me give you an example. Now, Yvette Carnell, let's talk about her. She says we're descendants of slaves, but then she slick talked and said that black people are more genetically white. So in other words, then she backed off that. That's what it's all about. You don't want to be African. That's what it is. Antonio Moore, dark-skinned brother, says that he has European blood, so we're different than white people. So that's that old African American. You've seen it in their families, Diane, right? I ain't African, that hate. Oh, African. Right. It's in the Black American culture. It's part of Black.
And the thing, Colorado, we're like the first generation that embraces our Africanness. Like
it was embraced, but not publicly. In the homes and everything, we had African stuff and everything. But when you came out in public, there was always that jokes of food. Oh, you African or not? And
hold on, stop the show. Todd. What's her name again? What's her name?
Who?
The ADOS. What's her name? Yvette Carnell.
Yeah.
Yvette Carnell was very adamant about the white side of her.
Yeah, she was.
Very adamant.
And a lot of these people are anti-African. They're anti their African roots. That's what it all boils down to. They want to get out of Africa free card. They want their African escape route, right? But at the same time, they want to claim American descendants of slavery. Now, who were the American descendants of slavery? I've always known that everybody else has known, right? There were Africans brought here from the west coast of Africa, right? Sometimes the east coast area, to the Caribbean and to North America for chattel slavery, for work, the beasts of burden, and everything. Out of which, after 400 years, a new group of people culturally emerged called African Americans, African Canadians, African Mexicans, African like that. But everybody understands that your roots in Africa. You go to Colombia right now, you'll see African people like, I'm from Africa. They don't deny the African ancestry. Mexicans, right? Afro-Mexicans, they'll probably say, I'm African, Mexican, whatever. You go to Dominican Republic, you go any place else besides black people in America, right? Where there's this strong movement. There's some people like, okay, I'm more indigenous, whatever like that, but they don't make a big deal of it. They're actually African Americans who are unmixed, who have no white, really visible white phenotype or Indian phenotype, will deny that they are African. They're not black African, right? They are saying we have nothing to do with Africa or whatever like that, culturally, racially. They believe that they are a new race besides the Africans on the continent. Somehow they're a new race. Then when you show them their twin cousin, hey, this dude look like you. You show them their twin cousin in a picture, they get mad. Oh, that's the worst thing you do. If you're sitting there talking to an anti-African Negro, right? That's what we ought to do, right? Have them come on the show, right? Have them come on the show with the camera on. And then when they're talking that African stuff, right? What you do is bring up a picture. Hey, we found your brother over in Zimbabwe. Right. Mekhi Phifer, remember Mekhi Phifer? He went to Zimbabwe, and remember that he found his twin.
All right.
So the bottom line, you're gonna go to the continent, you're gonna find somebody, no matter what your complexion is, whatever, you're gonna find somebody on the African continent that looks just like you, that's fully black, So that's what you have. And what we have right now is, right, and I gotta give props to Nagmeezy. I have to give props to Nagmeezy. Me and Nagmeezy go at it all the time, right? But in this situation, I have to give him props, right? Because he's basically calling out what he called the goofery of the Aboriginal people. These people have snuck into the ADOS FBA movement now, The people that say they weren't here, they were already here, slave trade didn't exist, and all this kind of goofy nonsense and everything. And basically, you got people like Michi X and Empowering ADOS, who's embracing these people, forming an umbrella group of people who hate Africa. You know, it's not about FBA. Now, let me clarify this. Some of the things that FBA and ADOS talk about are legitimate.
Right.
You know, are legitimate. And we just know like that. Africans, black immigrant, well, as far as black immigration to this country and immigration in general, right? A question got to be asked, you know, why are we bringing immigrants here when we can't take care of African Americans? Well, that's been like this since we've been here. It's been, that's when they brought the Irish here. America could have basically, we wouldn't have this problem, right? If when we had all these black people, African Americans moving to the Great Migration to the north, right? They were alarmed. They were alarmed. They said, we want European immigrants. And everybody knew we worked 10 times harder here. There's a myth about the European immigrants building area. They came here in the 1900s, right? America was already built.
Right.
And so therefore, they preferred the black. And also these European immigrants, people don't realize this, right? And I'll tell you my family story. My great uncle Lake, right? He was my late great uncle Lake, right? He was my father's uncle. Right. He came from the South. There's a rite of passage. All the black men from the South, right? We have the same story. We come up to the North, right? Uncle, somebody put you up for a few months or whatever like that, you know, get your first job. That job was usually a longshoreman. The black men of North Carolina did well. Why? Because they worked the hardest out of anybody. New York City would not be New York City without the black men from the North Carolina. And that's why you got the largest middle class in New York are African Americans. You know, the wealthiest group of people in New York City, in New York area are African Americans. Generation of homeowners, people owning homes already paid them off 30, 40 years ago. You know, generational wealth, millions of dollars worth of equity in home ownership in Black America. That's my family in New York. You know, I'm a testament to that. My uncle Lake used to tell us that there's a German immigrants, right? There was a German immigrant named Vonswell. He came to America in 1946, 45, 46, after the war, right?
Okay.
And my uncle was working as a longshoreman, right? And they lived in the same apartment building in the Bronx, right? And he was like basically telling my uncle, he said, man, this country do your people so well, Mr. Vonswell. But he was a chemist in Germany. He was a chemist in Germany, chemical manufacturer in Germany. And he said he was trying to establish his business. So my uncle helped him out for a couple of years. And then when he saved enough money, had enough money, right, to open his own factory in Oakland, New Jersey, right? And my uncle helped him build Vaughn Products. Google it, Vaughn Products, right? I think they moved to Tennessee, right?
Okay.
Vaughn Products, right? And my father, as he said, he told Mr. Vonswell told my uncle Lake, right, and his sons took over the business. No, his sons were actually, sons were older. His son and his grandson took over the business and everything like that. And Mr. Vonswell told my uncle Lake, right, because he hired my uncle Lake. My uncle Lake was a foreman and everything like that. He said, "Look, any of your people, he goes, ever want a job? You know, I like this." So he hired a lot of black people. And my father, that was my father's job, right? It was a really good paying job, right? My father really nothing but a high school education, right? Working alongside, got a good paying job and we was able to buy never had to rent. We always had our own home. We always had things. That's what got me into born into a middle class atmosphere. Okay. You know, that situation, you know. So what I'm trying to say is the story of the immigrant and everything. A lot of times the immigrants relied on black, particularly the Polish immigrants, the Italian immigrants, right? They relied on the Jewish. They relied on black people, right? Because they built stores in the black community and everything. They hired black people. They traded back and forth with black people. Black people knew the language and everything. So it was a symbiotic relationship between the European immigrants, right, that came after World War II. It came even before World War II, right? And in New York City. You know, I don't know about other cities and everything, but I know without the African American community coming from the South that lived in New York City, without them, the Irish and all these other people wouldn't survive. It was so good. The black community was so good that they said, look, we got to make these guys full-time membership in the longshoremen. All over the country, black people were discriminated, couldn't get into unions, couldn't get into. But the longshoremen's, right? All was black. That was a right of pass, hard work, you know. It took strong black men. Real only people that really do this were real strong black men. And the Irish knew they could not compete with this labor, because what happened was, if you didn't get them in the union, right, the union the companies would go down to North Carolina, right, called coon scabbers, right? It's called coon scabbers, right? They go to Carolina, right, and they bring same thing they did with the auto industry. They went to the South. Henry Ford, right? You would not have factories in America, right? If it was for Henry Ford and everybody going to the South, right? They covered this history. Go to Mississippi, gathering black men up, right, and bringing them to Detroit, working factories, So we made our mark on this country. We made our African Americans made their mark, and I'm proud of that. That's what I'm from. I'm proud of it, right? But I'm not going to take that out on the black immigrants that come after me, right? They're not going to come after me. If a black immigrant comes here from this country, so long as you're being respectful, because I know for a fact, here's a problem. We as a culture have always tolerated disrespect. Not just African immigrants, not just black immigrants and everything, not just even white people. We don't respect each other. It's a culture of disrespect. It's a culture of we don't know how to respect other black men who may have a different opinion, a different outlook. And so therefore, this culture of shucking and jiving and joking and not taking ourselves seriously and everything is dangerous. I showed you a video, Diane, like where these guys were did a video skits where they're joking. One dude yelling out of a car, and also do pull out his gun, whatever, like that. And they pull up, "What's up, man?" I said, he goes, y'all play too much. I'm like saying to myself, why is that funny?
Right.
Why is that funny? Like I said, deadly clowns. This Sambo culture, Black America has a problem. It's this Sambo culture. It's a Sambo culture, and then what happens is this: other people, Nigerians, Liberians, everybody else, take themselves seriously.
Right.
They take their children seriously. They take their kids' education seriously, right? They take their lives seriously. Right. So when they come to America, and America in its feeble attempt saying, "You're welcome here, you can get education, you can get this," they take it. Well, here's the thing. I was watching this thing just yesterday, right? This guy, I don't know who these people are. He's a comedian. I don't know who he is, man, but I swear to God, I'm tired of him, right? He did a thing where in front of a bunch of black people talking about, see, Ronald Reagan brought crack into the community, pump drugs. I'm like, now you and I know, right? This myth about the CIA, the crack epidemic and everything. The CIA, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. So you're sitting there, you made rap songs glorifying drugs. You make heroes out of murderers.
Right. We made money off of it. Exploited.
We make money off it.
Hey, 50 Cent's putting out a new series every other week about it.
Every 50 Cent's the biggest thing on television right now. 50 Cent's Power series, right? That's we have all these. You can't get a movie about Marcus Garvey made, but you can get all these movies, stuff like this. This is who we are in 2022. And so when people come here, right, they don't look at they don't take the worst of who they are and put it out before the world and say, this is who we are. And then you want people to respect you. Well, that's no, I'm sorry. I don't buy that. I know that's exactly who the mindset of Black America right now is. 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, and all these other people that's been defiling our culture for decades now. That's who we are. And the other people that come from other people, black people come here, they don't want no part of that.
Right.
They and Nigerians maliciously use that, right, to white people to be like I don't know if you remember the movie. What was that movie? Adios Amigo with Richard Pryor and Fred Williamson. It was a funny movie, right? It was like post Civil War. It was out in the Old West, right? But Richard Pryor was like this jiving, slick talking, and Fred Williamson was this strong black type, whatever, like that. But Richard Pryor would always go around and say, see right here, he was telling, I'm a house nigga. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Buck over there, man, you got to put him in the field and everything like that. It's always blacks in our culture be like that. So Nigerians are taking up the role now of basically saying, something, look at this people over here and whatnot. We could do better. They're telling white people we could do better. So they're best among us saying like this. So it's like, wait a minute here. We got black professional class, but the black professional class and everything way outnumber Nigerians, right? But the world is convinced now that they're somehow better than us because what we put as our cult, as a culture, cult, is the worst.
Right.
Nigerians put their best foot forward in front of the world, you know, because they control the narrative. And I don't think it's that. I think we don't have enough guts to stand up to the garbage that's being put out in our name, you know, in our name. And so therefore I ask the question, who is ADOS, right? Who is ADOS? On one hand, you have people saying that I'm not African, I'm indigenous to America, but I want a reparations check. Then you got other people, you got the Nakmezis who are saying that yes, I recognize my African lineage and everything like that. I rock with the FBA. You know, I get that. Okay, I get that, right? But my whole thing is you can't have both. Right now, they say, well, we're not anti-African or anti-black immigrant. Then what brings you together? What brings both groups of people together? What brings both people together, and what they always start out in every conversation is something anti-African, anti-Nigerian, anti-Somalian, picking on Africa because they got poor villages and slums and everything like that, you know. So if you're not, if they spend all, you watch any more show, they'll never talk about Mexicans. They'll never talk about whites and everything. Do you know how many illegal Ukrainians and Russians live in America, right? They're not talking about them, you know, and everything. The guy who killed Bill Cosby's son was an Ukrainian immigrant. Remember? Yeah. The guy who killed Bill Cosby's son, murdered Bill Cosby's son, said, "I murdered a nigga." You know, he was a Ukrainian. Black people said nothing about that. Nothing. But when when Africans say one little thing out of pocket, and also now that folks, right? Let me say something. I have a social network, right, called the Black African Infrastructure Organization, right? I have people from Africa, and it's about 50-50 Africans and African Americans. We have people on the ground networking in Liberia, Ghana, Gambia, and all these other countries and everything. And the culture of the BAO is every Black person, African descent person, we're all brothers and sisters and everything. We laugh at something. So outside of the BAO, right, that's where all this chaos comes in. African American. There's no division in our organization, in our social network. And that's why I said, if you really want to be a Pan-Africanist, right, cut off TikTok, cut off a lot of YouTube, cut off the Twitter, and join our social network. If you want to build, if you want to build this organization, we're going to win anyway. You know.
Well, one second, Colin, guys. Hit that like button again, please. Hit the like button again, please. Hit the like button. Also, too, in about 8 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, go ahead and click on that link and call in. Again, link will be in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, go ahead and call in. But guys, please hit that like button as you come to the chat room.
And also open your wallets up. Support my brother Dynasty Samir, man. Hit that Cash App. Hit that what's it called? Super Chat. You know, hit that Super Chat. Hit that Cash App. Hit that like button. You know, you guys, folks, bro. We need your support in this. We need your support in getting this message out and everything. Please support this challenge. Please support Dynasty and brother Brandon. Brandon search for Pan-African Strike Back, and so we can keep this message not just it's already growing, but keep this message in the limelight. Okay, now back to what I was saying. How can you have a movement, right? You have Tariq Nasheed, right? He's obviously anti-African, anti-black, and everything. Obviously, just whatever. I know that. Then you got Nakmezi. So you got Nakmezi. And you got Tariq Nasheed. You got the two foremost, I would say, FBA, ADOS guys, right? Nakmezi and Tariq. So the people, there's a large percentage of people who want to rock with. So you got to say something about Tariq. And if somebody sends him $100 super chat to say, we were already here, right? We were already here and everything. Tariq's a pimp. He'll take it. Nakmezi seems like he has some more principles. He's not going to be change his ideology based on the super chat. Tariq will. And so therefore, if Tariq is who you are rocking with. Now, let me ask you a question. Well, why did all this start in the last 2 weeks? Why did all this start? Why does all start now, right? It's because Tariq knows, right? He has a baby on the way and stuff like that, right? Let me put his business out there. I'll put his business out there. Tariq knows that people are asking questions, right? With these discussions started getting good. So he pivoted to this discussion. He knew when he put that up there, it would take the focus off that museum, right? And the so-called bookies try to do, and so therefore people haven't talked about the museum right now for 2 weeks, All we're talking about is immigrants going back and forth and everything. So let's put the focus back on, hey, Tariq, where's the money, the $2 million you raised for the museum in our name? You went there and said, we're going to raise a museum. Now, when you raise that museum, right, museums are based on facts, artifacts. You know what artifacts is? Artifacts is artificial, facts, facts, things that, like that, right? So you're going to put down, give us pseudo-history in that museum? Do you know what it takes to build a museum? $2 million, that's nothing. You may get the ground, right? To build an actual museum, you got to have an exhibit. Do you know what it takes to get art and stuff like that? Or is it going to be an art display, or is it going to be a museum? When you go to a museum, what you have has to be peer reviewed. This is factual. You can't go to Boo Boo the Fool's pottery class and make something up, right? And throw it up there and talk about, yo, man, my man Boo Boo got this up here, And then when you look at Tariq's, the people follow him. Guy calling on Brandon show the other day didn't even know when the country was founded. Just going off on Tariq, going off about y'all hating his pockets and whatnot. See, these are the low IQ people that's following stuff, and it looks like they're winning. Most of the people who follow ADOS, FBA, there's a people that lead this stuff that know what they're talking about, right? They know what no one's going to refute what you're saying about immigration in Black America. No one's going to refute that. I don't refute that. I don't refute. I don't like disrespect for Nigeria. And Dynast, remember who was the one who went on Nigerians the most? Over the years.
Me and you.
Yeah, both of us.
Right.
Because a lot of Nigerians are anti-Pan-Africanists. They got their heads so far up the queen's ass they could look out her neck. I put a Nigerian down in this place in the spirit of brotherhood, not in the spirit of the mean. You know what I'm saying? When I put you down, after I whoop that ass, right? I want to hug you and embrace you and say, "Yo, brother, we're brothers, man. Let's work this out." I'm always gonna leave a path that we can come back together. But what a lot of these people do, they got the facts. Okay, they tell me, and I listen to them. Right? They don't want nothing to do with Africa. And the bottom line is, in this global world, where people of like culture and everything are coming together and building super societies and super states and everything, how is the Black race going to goddamn survive? You ain't think about the kids. What if the African Americans and the Nigerian kids were working together in the technology? Nigeria is 200 million people, right? Between Black America and Africa, we wouldn't have to trade nothing with Europe and Asia. We could do everything else, the whole world. We could build our own world. But these people don't think like that. They're happy going to the club on the weekends, in the club, You find me in the club, They're happy to go on a Red Lobster, They're happy going all the stuff. Then they get on YouTube online and whatnot, and they seeing that the fact that what they claim that the ancestors built, Martin Luther King and all these other people like that. Yeah, great. But everybody else said, thank you for your Martin Luther King Day. But we're gonna grab the bag and be on our own. And we don't like that. A lot of us don't like that. We don't like the fact that Black immigrants are not kissing our ass enough, And they're like, yo, I came over here and got this bag, and said, well, it wasn't for us to right to it. But correct me if I'm wrong, most Black people didn't even like Martin Luther King, didn't even support it.
Right. We got a caller. Let me read the super chat. Ragamuffin 10, while they continue to follow Tariq to a dead end, I see new immigrants every day coming in IT. I rarely see young ADOS coming in the profession, immigrants not worrying about all that extra shit. Let me say this too. The amount of venture capitalism that's being poured into Nigerian startups right now. Is wild. But hold on,
Liberia's gonna be like that soon too. Liberia's gonna be like that soon too.
Go ahead, Bishop George.
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question to the brother speaking is, and when I was growing up, I'm from Philly, so when I was growing up, we had always had a lot of.
Oh wait a minute, is this George Mason?
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. Oh, what's up, man?
What's going on,
bro? What's up, man? Long time no see. What happened to your show, man?
It's still there.
Man, I haven't. Oh, do you see what I'm talking about? About the algorithm? They ain't giving me the brother show, man.
Man, the stuff that I talk about on there, man. Don't know when I go live, or don't everybody always say they don't see it. So I don't know what YouTube
man, that's
doing.
a sad thing, man. YouTube
I
is
stopped
racist.
caring.
YouTube is racist. So that's why we gotta get our own stuff, man. You know?
Yeah. All right, go ahead, George.
Dynasty should be much bigger than what he is, as long as he's been doing the Africa thing. I don't know why.
Bottom line, the algorithm is like the most racist thing in the world. The average white person will never see Dynasty. You know what I'm saying? They make sure so that it's like this. You think segregate? We thought internet would bring people together. The internet has segregated people so much with this algorithm and stuff like that. The average white person will never know who Dynasty is. Will never.
Dynasty go to Africa. Dynasty go in the village with the goddamn in the bush somewhere. Dynasty be in the bush sitting on the dirt. I've been like, God damn, he not in Africa. He in Africa.
Like I have a beef. I started with Nigerians because they would come at me like, why is Dynasty always in the freaking villages and whatnot? Why is he always like that? Why he don't show the Banana Island and whatnot? Why don't he show Dynasty don't care about that, man. It's his show. Man,
I seen Dynasty sitting with a juju man or something.
That's what I'm saying. They don't like that. A lot of Africans don't like that, man. You know.
But you would have thought that his chat, because of what he does, his channel would have been bigger by now. My question is, why I come up is, I'm 46, so I remember growing up in Philly. You had like a lot of people from Ghana and Nigeria. I mean, not Ghana and Liberia. That's who was in Philly the most, and they were like assimilated. So when I was 15, 16, we didn't really have these conversations. They was just black people. We made fun of each other. They talked funny, but they was black. Like moms and your moms went to church. Everybody went to school together. Nobody dated nobody white. It was just black people. This was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
I think the mindset of some of the Africans that come through today is different than the ones that I grew up with. And they don't really assimilate with us. So I think this is where some of the ADOS conversation is coming from, because it's different where I grew up with. And I'm not saying that that's everybody, but just at my age, I'm old enough to see the difference. So like, how do we get the African and African American, those of us that's supposed to be conscious and woke, to start looking at each other from a Pan-Africanist way of thinking? Because I don't know no Africans that think Pan-African.
We created an organization called the Black African Infrastructure just for this purpose. I saw this coming a decade ago. You know, I saw it coming when Africans come here and start making generalizations about us and stuff like that. I said, oh, and then it goes up, blast out through social media. I said, what if we had a social network where those of us who are like-minded are communicating, right? And I have Nigerian brothers, Liberian brothers, Ghanaian brothers, everybody. We're all talking back and forth, generally, and everything like that. Understanding that we're all black. We have our differences and everything, but we're all black. You know, right now what we have is a lot of and also let's not put this all on our African brothers. Come here. There's a lot of white people who sit back and they know this is going on, right? And they basically come and they're the ones feeding Africans a lot of this stuff. Oh, you're better than them. Oh, you're not ghetto and everything. I remember when I was growing up, right? There was white people used to tell me, oh, you're not like them. And I said, oh, I always knew that you probably heard that before, you know, you're not like them over there, you know? And I'm like, I am just like them over there, just that maybe I have a better opportunity, you know? And so white people will test you to see your loyalty. Now, and I know for a fact, there's people listen to the show, right? That everybody has their Negro moment on their job, right? When your boss or supervisor will test you. Yeah, so you want a good one. And you're like, yeah. Because you know that check is coming, you know? It's like,
hey, Kyle, what's coming? What's coming?
Check, you know?
Oh, go ahead.
So you don't know what I'm saying is this. So therefore, there are a lot of Africans who come over here, right? And they tell, oh yeah, man, they'll make a joke about Black African Americans and everything like that, right? And they'll be like, okay, yeah, I agree, right? White people are the ones starting this, missing this stuff, right? And they'll make Africans distance themselves from us and everything because they don't like seeing us together, right? It's just a power thing, you know? Right. We don't have no power to do that to Europeans with white Americans. The white Americans are the one holding all the power. They're the ones that make it seem like they tell us we're all Americans, right? But no, it's America with rules. You got to follow the white man's rules. You got to follow his thing. You got to be more white. That's what America's all about. You got to give up who you are to be like them. You got to sing Star Spangled Banner, God Bless America, and all stuff like this. You got to believe in the American exceptionalism and stuff like that. If you don't believe in that, right, they call you anti-American. And if with Black people in America, we're like, well, we built this country. Immigrants have nothing to stand on. So basically, if the white people tell them, if you start listening to these black people, start doing what they do, when that you're anti-American and everything, you know, they can even throw you out. You know, even if you are a citizen, you know, if you say the wrong thing, you could lose your citizenship. You know, even if you are a naturalized citizen and everything. So therefore they play on it. Go ahead, brother George.
Because my thing is, like, if you from, like, I can't speak for other parts of the other country, but in the East Coast, especially the East Coast corridor, from like New York, Philly, DC, Boston down, it's a lot of Africans, like a lot of Africans. You know, if you grew up in the Philadelphia, New York area, so you grew up around a lot of Africans. I think in having conversations, because even when I'm in the gym, I work out with like 2 Africans every day, one from Mauritania and one from Ivory Coast. And we, in today's time, 30, 40 years later, we don't know each other. We don't know each other's culture. Like, we don't, what I've learned in having conversations, and Dynasty no more because he's there with Africans on the ground, but just me meeting Africans that come to America, we don't understand their colonization in the way that they view white people as opposed to the way we view white people. We have a very adversarial relationship in America with white folks. With them, a lot of them didn't grow up around white people. They don't understand the way white supremacy worked. They understand the way their country was and tribalism and different things.
Right.
Like
so for a lot of Africans, they look at their leaders as worse than white people.
Yes, I learned that from one of my friends. One of my good friends is from Ivory Coast. He didn't understand white supremacy till he came to America and got around black people. He didn't know that the Europeans was the reason for their countries being poor, destroying their countries. And he looked at tribalism and wicked black leaders. So they looked at other black people as the enemy. White people came to their countries as Catholic Christians. They came to their countries with goods,
NGOs, and giving
It's called the Safariization of Africa. There's a brother on YouTube, name is Joseph Sakala, right? I want to see his YouTube channel blow up. In Zambia, right, there's a pushback, right, against this Safariization of Africa. You know, Europeans now, there's one white girl from, I don't know, Switzerland, whatever. She had to leave Zambia a few years ago, right? Because she was out there in the village, right? And she was taking pictures with the kids in the village and everything. And then people are hitting back saying, why don't you go to Eastern Europe and take pictures with the people living in the slums over there, you know? And so therefore, there's a pushback right now. It's global, right? Where white people still feel as Africa is theirs, you know, theirs to get travel. And the bottom line is, I had Africans tell me that, Colin, man, the white people took care of me when I was in a refugee camp in Ghana. I had this Liberian brother. I had to reach out to. I said, brother, no, they took care of me. They got me to America, got me into Catholic school, and they just said, what did Black America ever do for me and whatnot? I said, those white people are not doing that for you because they know when you grow up, you're gonna turn on us. You know, that's what it's all about.
But I had a brother. I had a brother from Benin, because I grew up in Southwest Philly, so we got a whole area called Little Africa. It's a whole neighborhood of nothing but Africans. It used to be Ghana and Liberians. Now it's Africans from everywhere. But I was talking to a brother from Benin, and he argued me down for like an hour until some other Africans came over. He didn't believe that black people invented or built nothing. He was beholden to white people because he said in his country, when they were poor, they bought him clothes, they bought him food. And he talked about the famine and the tribal wars. He was telling me about this kind of stuff. So what I've learned and growing up around a lot of Africans and here in Philly, that we don't understand each other's plight. You know? And because oppressed people tend to oppress each other, we don't look to bound together to fight the opposition. But again, I think in starting these conversations, we got to understand that as African Americans, we have an adversarial relationship. A lot of Africans, depending on where you come from, if you talk to people from Mauritania, they don't like white people or Arabs because they went through what we went through. So you have to understand the different countries, because if you talk to a brother from Ivory Coast, as opposed to a brother from Liberia or other places, some Ivory Coasting brothers don't like the French because they do know what the French did to them. It depends on what country you in. I had to learn this stuff. I had to educate myself in it by talking to other Africans.
It's nuance. There's a lot of nuance.
It's not all the same. They don't all think the same.
The problem with people like Tariq Nasheed, he doesn't talk about that. Why these Africans think that way? You know, they don't just like this. You know, we understand. I understand that it's Europeans, it's white people that's behind all this, right? Every time when they get that green card, right? When you go for a country that you just barely got out of the country because of war or whatever like that, you get that green card and you settle in a nice place, a nice suburb somewhere, in Pennsylvania or New York or whatever, and you're saying, and somebody's giving you money to go to school and everything, and your life is tranquil and everything, and you're basically saying, who is our benefactor? Who is our? But a lot of don't even know that it's black people, black members of the Congressional Black Caucus and everything behind the scenes. They don't see that. All they see is white people doing it. Now, has an exception to that was Donald Payne. Do you remember who Donald Payne was? Congressman from New Jersey?
No.
Okay, he was in the 90s, in 2000. He passed away a few years ago. He was basically, and Keith Ellison too. And
hold on 1 second. Nappy Yankee, you got to turn off your background noise.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know I was up.
Yeah.
Okay, Liberians love Donald Payne. Why? Because in Newark and everything, he advocated for them, right? And there's a lot of Liberians that have a lot of connections with African American institutions historically, you know, so they know it's African Americans who basically who advocate for them a lot of times, you know, a lot of times, right?
Hey, what city are you from, Kama?
I'm originally from New York City, right?
Oh,
but I was raised upstate New York, you know.
So you been around a lot of Africans too, then you in
New
York.
I've been around
because
Africans whole life.
Dynast, I'm telling you, I got a homie named Zidane. He's from Mauritania. Okay. Man, this dude can't stand swirling. I couldn't understand. We work out in the gym every day, and white girl walked by. Somebody said, "Look at the white girl body," and he he can speak Arabic. He's from Mauritania. He started cussing. We talked while we was working out, and I understood that the homie from Liberia and the way that he think, they two totally different people. He don't like white people, and he explained to me why and what the white Arabs do in Mauritania. And how the black people Mauritania are at the bottom. I was like, damn, like his mindset is sort of like an African American mindset. He's just from Mauritania, but it's totally different than somebody from a Ghana or somewhere else. So it's not the same.
Yeah. Like I said, Mauritania is just a few. It still have legal slavery. They still have slavery in Mauritania. Black people. I was on Brandon's show today. Somebody's debating me in the chat room talking about the Wallada. When Bill said so, Wallada, the kingdom of Wallada was actually founded by Malbaras and Berbers, right? Who mixed in with blacks and would traded gold and salt between the north and the south.
What? The king of what?
Well, in Ghana, one of the first cities of Ghana is Wallada, you know, in southern Mauritania. It's a nice city. It's a beautiful city, you know.
Yeah, because the Ghanaian Empire was Senegal at first, wasn't it? It was up in the Senegal area.
But the people, but also the Almoravids from Mauritania, from the north and the west. But the blacks were the majority, right? And then eventually they mixed in together, and it became a black civilization, you know. But the bottom line, in the far north, it was more white. It was far more white, right? And when the French came, right, they said, "Oh, y'all gotta stop mixing with blacks and everything." And French began to, and then this idea that blacks being slaves had to do with the growing slave trade among Europeans and everything. And so basically, by default, in the white areas of Mauritania, they looked at black people as slaves. You know, and a lot of Europeans lived there, a lot of Arabs lived there, and everything like that. So the culture changed over the last 500 years, where they basically.
Let me get they'll be in West Coast. Go ahead. West Coast. Nappy Yankee. I'm sorry, my bad. Nappy Yankee. I'm reading.
That's okay. That's okay, man.
Hold on. Let me read the super chat first. Look at the Bag family. Their daughter has just as many subscribers as them. YouTube plays with their views and subscribers. All right, go ahead, Nappy Yankee.
Yeah, this is all I want to say, and I want to kind of tie everything in to what Tariq is basically selling. And people need to understand how little money that I'm not saying that we have money as a whole, but okay, here's the example. Some of you probably saw the story of Jeff Bezos, who bought a $500,000 yacht. $500,000 yacht.
I saw that.
You understand?
Billion or million?
Million. Look, $500 million yacht.
Yeah, $500 million yacht.
$500 million means.
Yeah.
$500 million.
Yeah.
Now that's just the purchase price. All right. Forget the maintenance. Forget the fact he had to buy another yacht in order to, another yacht next to it, just as something to just in case. And so it's sort of like just another yacht next to it. The point is, we seem to want to get into a flat-footed tie with these people. It's impossible. You're going to have to go and separate and build your own. And what people don't understand is that you yourself are not going to see the benefits. You may not live to see the benefits. What we think we're going to become puffy and we're going to see the benefits. No, there's going to be a point you may not even be able to see another couple of generations. You're building right now. What Tariq is selling is that he's selling like that basically you can get all this now. What they're really doing, it's a
instant gratification.
Here's what it is. Kala, I saw that stream. Tariq is running a cult. Let's just say it for what it is a full-blown cult. And what Tariq is doing, people are sending him money, not that he cares about reparations, not that he cares about black people. He wants to show you his light-skinned wife who still looks kind of good, living in what he says a $2 million house, however he does that. And that's it, man. But we need to understand, like Dynast, you were talking about building a league in Africa when you're talking about Flores, right? When he and his protest.
Right,
okay.
right.
Listen, first of all, I understand building your own football league, but whenever I hear people say they got to build a football league, how much? I mean, you have to. First of all, you need insurance. That alone, you need to build a football. How much would that be?
We're talking about. I mean, and Brother Maker will probably we make up what 70% of the league.
I know we do. I know. Here's what I'm saying.
So I mean, the insurance, this cost, that cost, those are excuses.
But hold on, no, it's not an excuse. What I'm saying is, do you even want to play football? All right. I mean, do we even have to play football to entertain ourselves? Because at the end of the day, it's just entertainment. Like I was at the dealer getting my car fixed and everything. They were playing rugby, all right, which is a much less, as far as injuries and everything. Why can't we market that as entertainment? You ran track before, right? You get your little injuries here and there in track, but still, why not market that? Market other sports first, make that popular. Then if you want to go to something as brutal as football, then go to that. But the point is, why even start? We're trying to get into a flat-footed tie with these people. It's not going to happen. They are literally 800. I'm not exaggerating. 800% more wealth than us. And this is why when I hear people say, "Oh, a black billionaire, this person's a black billionaire," Jeff Bezos is a trillionaire, and there's other white ones, but you're never going to catch up. You're going to have to separate, build your own, start with something small. You don't have, like I said, football. Don't start with something like track and field. Make that entertaining if you want some entertainment. But the point is, Tariq is selling. He's not selling blackness. He's just selling, instant gratification. Basically, people are going to keep sending him money to make sure their prints looks good. Okay, so he can get Bentleys and drive around. He's got a kid on the way. You think a museum? All right. In the museum, he was talking about plebiscites, meaning hold you accountable for what you're doing. But he doesn't have any respect for black people to the point where they're going to forget about it. I'm going to keep the bag and I'm just going to keep it moving. So that's what I got to say on that, bro.
Yeah. Thing is about delayed gratification, right? White people that have power, and who know seeing how power works, right? And the whole thing is, I don't think you guys remember the TV series Dallas, right? Do you, George? Do you remember Dallas?
Yeah, I remember. I was a little kid. Yeah.
Delayed gratification. Jr. Remember him?
Right.
He would let you. He would let people come in there. Jr. F this and everything, and then what happens, right? Jr. get that call. Shut down Ewing, such and such, right?
Absolutely.
Right, boom, right. He lets you have your little run and whatnot. Then he goes, okay. He don't blow up right then and there. I'm gonna kick your ass. Blah, blah. That's the black man. He said he'll wait. He'll wait. And then what did Josh Ewing tell Bobby? And said, "Dad, you were giving me this power." He said, "Son, you understand something? When power is never given, power is taken. When you understand that, black men in America is still waiting for somebody, the white man, to empower him. Give him a reparations check. That's what Tariq is selling, because that's what sells with black people. Somebody's going to give you something for salvation. The bottom line is this: other people, they're building now so that children don't have to go through this. Future generation, the black people on the whole, if everything you hear them say is something for them now, I want my check now, and everything. They're not thinking that, okay, what if we had $500 billion for the next 30 years, our kids will be taken care of. It's like we as black men don't care about that. We want ours now. We want the bag now. We want this, that, and the other thing. And these internet gurus who keep selling us this nonsense, right? And built a political movement around gimme, right now, gimme, right now, gimme, right now. Those people, the Tariq Nasheed, the Red Cardinals, and everything. That's what this is all about. There's no long-term plan.
Can I say something unpopular? Can I say something unpopular? I'm gonna say something unpopular.
Go ahead, brother.
I'll say this. I think, in my opinion, because I don't agree with everything that they do, ADOS or FBA. I listen to some of the stuff. It's truth in some things. Some things I don't agree with. I don't agree with Tariq always bashing the immigrants. I don't agree with some of the things the immigrants do that they come through here. But this is the thing to me. Tariq Nasheed and the ADOS crew, I don't think that they the problem. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, in my opinion. You have Dynast, right? When I first came in, Dynast been going back and forth as a black man from Sacramento, California, straight off the block to Africa for years, right? He got a channel. As an African American, he shows himself in the streets, in the villages. We got YouTube. We all can click on it and watch it. You got O'Shea Duke Jackson, another brother from Sacramento in Uganda, doing all kinds of stuff. These brothers are bringing Africa to us in a way that we never was able to see it. It's those of us that we got so much trouble, issues with them. First of all, we got the ability to do the things that we want that we didn't have 30 years ago. We got the social media. The same way Tariq Nasheed can raise that money, ain't nowhere in the world us here with the people and the things we doing, we can't do it if we have an opposing view. Because you got so many people that don't like it. My question is, Dynast was just in Africa, right? He's going to Africa. He's forging relationships. How come he don't have? How come his channel don't have a half?
Let me say this, brother George, all respect, right? The problem is there's a lot of people who don't like Dynast or Tariq, but they'll support Tariq because they don't want this side to win. Let me give you like Creflo Dollar, right? You ever see the churches? People have thrown more than $60 million jet. You're saying there's dudes on the street corner who trying to have a youth basketball, can't get donations, right? But people will go and give the Creflo Dollar. The black people will support foolishness more than they will.
That's the point I'm making.
That's what it. That's not anybody's fault but our own. The black people who listen to these shows and everything, right? They'll listen to this show, right, and say, "Oh man, these guys are dope." But the whole in their subconscious mind, they want Tariq to win because this right here is like real revolution, right? Pan-African is a real revolution. If this is going to alter your relationship with white people, that's what it's all about. But if you have Pan-Africanists, it's going to alter, it's going to change the whole dynamics. People want to be able to sit in America and be comfortable. Pan-Africanism and African building and stuff like that, nation building, makes a lot of black people uncomfortable, and they want something to counter that. You know, that's why they go back to what I was. But it go back to what I was saying real quick, because I know he want to bring the other brother in real quick. The reason why Yvette Carnell or that African chick that's on Facebook that's always talking about African Americans and the Tariq Nasheed flourish, right? Because the thing is this: to practice Pan-Africanism, to support real movements, mean it's going to take work. A lot of Africans that I see when they come to here and they start accumulating wealth, they don't want to go back. You'll hear them say, "I'm not going back." They're not taking that education back. A lot of African Americans look at Africa with a side eye because of the miseducation. So what I'm saying is, those of us today, we can clearly see things that know better, right? If you complaining, but these people are running over there, then in my mind, the way I look at things today, you deserve everything you get. It's enough people amongst the people that's woke where we can do things together and don't even need them. We don't even need them. That's what I'm saying. The template is already laid. Listen, before YouTube blew up, like I said, I was going back and forth when I was on that anti-African shit. I used to argue with you, Dynast, in your comment section. We used to get at each other in your comment section. It was like 7 years ago. So what I'm saying is the foundation has been laid by two brothers from California, from the same goddamn city. One is in East Africa, one is in West Africa. Ain't nowhere in the world. If you got all of these people that disagree, you can't tell me why they don't have a half 500,000 subscribers and people was contributing to want to be involved in what's going on to bring about a change. If not, I'm just no disrespect, but shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it,
because we got the ability today to control our own destiny. I'm in Philly. Dynasts, wherever Dynasts is, we all over the goddamn country, and we can actually talk and come together. We complain about this stuff, but anything is for the uplifting of us, we don't support that shit at all. So it's no excuse. What I'm saying is this brother been laying the foundation. And actually, if it's some things that you disagree with he doing, why don't you contribute? Whereas though your opinion can matter and you can him get better, because he's there.
Yeah, and has another thing. Has another thing, Brother George, right?
And then after that, Kyle, I'm gonna bring Abdullah on. Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, there's a lot of people, like I said, Dynast, you got Brandon, you got Bomani, Brother Bomani, you got a lot of people doing stuff. There's a lot of the BAO, we have a network, a lot of people. The whole thing is that with YouTube, right? What happens is this, like, who the hell Dynast think he is, man? And next thing you know, people get a YouTube channel. I'm gonna start stake his viewers. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got this, right? If YouTube was paid, you have to actually pay for this, right? And we can build this, or this is our own social network, and people have to pay and put their work in, and you can't just put up just shabby anything and everything. It'd be a different story. But as long as anybody can go with a Google account, can go and just get a YouTube thing and everything right there, that's all it takes. And the powers that be knows that, right? Because they're like, that'll cancel everything. I'm going to be the next Dynast Amir, I'm going to be the next Bomani, I'm going to be the next whoever, So that's the problem, man. Black people, we don't. If it was a white person, black people get in line. If a white person on YouTube, whatever, or whatever it's doing, black people get in line, right? They're not gonna be no black people. I'm gonna be the next Joe Rogan. No, you accept this Joe Rogan and there's you. So you'll let him be Joe Rogan. You'll let these white people be white people, right? But when you see another black person, you think that you want to forget what you're doing, right? And you want to copy them instead of getting behind that black person. That's just the way it is. We don't have any respect. Then we want the immigrants to come over here and give us all this respect, and we don't respect each other, like I said earlier.
No, Abdul Kamar, go ahead, brother. Abdul, unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yes. Greetings to all the Pan-Africanists all over the world. Liberation of the black people is a must. I heard what most of our brothers and sisters were saying. I understand how you guys feel when it comes to certain Africans, because these are my people. Trust me, I know them very well. I myself, I go through those kind of fights with them. We have certain conversations like that, but most of them are not well informed. As for me, I was fortunate. I came here when I was 14, and I went through the system, even though it's halfway from middle school upwards. They tried to colonize my brain, but my brain was already sealed since Africa. I have my own ancestral history that I came over here with, and I stick by it. So what I was trying to say is that most of these brothers that are coming here, some of them, they literally pick them up from the bush. I'm talking about the village, not the city, the village. So when they come over here, they come over here with this mentality, because some of them never seen electricity in their life before. When they come over here, they see electricity, they start going, oh my God, it's so amazing. So they got into this inferiority where anything the white man tells them, they believe it. Instead. So there's certain groups of Africans. It's two groups, the ones that are well informed and the ones that are also have been colonized. Their brain has been colonized by the so-called white supremacy. Okay? So those are the ones that you guys are misinterpreting with the African American, the Africans who are already woke. The ones who are woke, the woke Africans, they know us. Trust me, they got data of all of us. Okay? Sometimes they even sanction some of us. Sometimes the homeless people you see in the street, they are being sanctioned because of what they know. They don't want them to get jobs. They don't want them to be anything, because they know their mindset. They know who they are. So the ones who coming from the village are the ones you see balling today. They are the ones. They are the ballers. Let me say, the ones who are struggling are the true Pan-Africanists you see out there. And they are being, I'm telling you, they are being sanctioned. It's not just the Africans. It's also, it happens to the African Americans. So what they're doing is playing two sides. While we are out here fighting with cultural differences, they are out there going, catching plane, going to Africa and take advantage of the ones over there who don't know anything and take their resources from them. Basically, let me say, for example, diamonds, gold. They can go over there. Since they have all the money, they can go down there like $15,000, and they go to the locals and they can get for like $5,000 and bring it over here and sell it for $50,000, $60,000. That's a quick come up. Trump said that himself, that he knows people who went to Africa broke and then come back rich. So you see how they're playing us. We are being played. Forget about the cultural differences. We have to identify these Africans that I'm talking to you about. These are the people that we are fighting. We, the Pan-Africans, are fighting. We have to fight ourselves first so we can identify these people and label them before we can actually move on.
Brother Kamara, let me say this, brother. I've been saying this for years, right? There's this notion that just because you're from Africa, that when a there's a lot of so-called Pan-Africans in America, they do this to me all the time, right? Well, I just heard from a Nigerian brother. And what you describe is a lot of these people are nothing but race traders and sellouts, right? And just because they're born on the continent, just because and most of them in the UK, most of them not even in the continent, because they didn't have they're not African American, they have more validity. And a lot of these people, not all of them, right? Go to Nigeria right now. We could have a whole conversation about Port Harcourt, Nigeria, right? How that's a bastion of race traders and people who basically buy into European, and why the fact that Nigeria, right, is letting the Royal Dutch Oil Company and the Shell Company control their oil fields and everything right there. When is Nigeria going to take those oil fields back and say, get the hell out? We don't care if you sanction us for 100 years. We're going to throw you the hell out, right? But no, it's the bottom line is this. There's a lot of money in playing footsies back and forth with Europeans. Going there and getting diamonds out and getting your cut and everything, looting the continent and everything like that. That's been going on for the last 50, 60 years, right? I had a guy call me the other day, right? Some Arab called me on WhatsApp, right? He got my number from somebody talking about he's looking for gold in Liberia. I said, I don't believe in selling gold to you, sir. What do you mean? We want to put gold in the Dubai Bank. I said, dude, if it's in my power, anything I'm doing, I'm gonna make sure not one drop of gold ever makes it out of Africa into your bank. How about that? You know, that's what I told him. You know,
Can I ask an ignorant question, because I don't know, I'm ignorant to this, and I guess I would ask Dynas or the brother Abdul Kamara, as an African American who's never been to the continent, and we know what they show us on TV. On the ground in West Africa, I'm speaking for West Africa or maybe South Africa, are there people on the ground that talk and think like us, that's anti on the street, but they don't show it to us?
Yeah, look, bottom line, you go to Liberia, I don't know, I only been to really Liberia, right? And the bottom line, when I was over there, right, they I don't know how these other African countries, but they know our story. They know exactly what I'm talking about. When I start talking about stuff, they know who Marcus Garvey is. They know.
Yeah, I know Liberians do.
Yeah, like that's in Liberia. You know what I'm saying? But other African countries, they do. But the bottom line is the colonial presence is so powerful. You know.
Actually, when I was going to school in West Africa in Sierra Leone, I actually went to private school, and then they actually teach us our history, our true raw history. So basically, they tell us that our people, the land was invaded, our people were robbed. You understand me? So we grew up with that mentality that, oh, we have offspring who they took away from us. So for me to come to America and actually met some of these offspring, it was a big honor to me. So to me, I don't know how other Africans never have the type of education, but the education they gave me was thoroughly the righteous education, and that actually they put it on us and let us know exactly what happened, instead of the watered one that is telling people over here that your people sold you, which is a big lie, by the way. Are you going to come with a gun and try to rob people, and then you're telling me that it was a mutual trade? How can it be a mutual trade with a gun in somebody's head, and you actually kill kings and queens, you know, and almost trying to grab the land? And they're not talking about the war that took place when we actually defeated them, because they were trying to actually get the land. The mosquitoes were killing them. Everything was, the sand, the heat, the sun was killing them. That's why they ran away from Africa. But they're not trying to talk about those wars. There's nobody talking about those wars. Nobody mentioned those wars. You understand? So that's why I said we have to liberate our people through the mind first. We have to let them know our history. We all are the victims here. We don't listen to the criminals. The criminals have a reason for them to give us a watered down story. So it's up to us to listen to choose sides, whether you want to listen to the criminal or you want to listen to the ones who are the victims. I'd rather listen to the victims because they are the ones who went through the actual problem. So that's what I'm saying. Like the fight that we are having, the little fight that we are having, that one, I'm telling you, brother, we don't need to continue to follow those guys. Because if I can give you an example, in any group there is a smoker, right? Any race you find a smoker, right? That's the same thing. You go to the Africans, you find assholes. You go to the African Americans, you find an asshole. You go to Europe, you find assholes. So we're not going to continue debating it because it will never end. The problem, the issue here is we need to identify ourselves as one black people. And because we have a bigger problem that we need to face and fix. If we don't do that, time is running out. Time is running out. These guys have planned 50 years ahead of us. We are just starting now because of the internet. And thank God for the internet, you know? But we need to bring people of like-minded, Pan-African, African-American, Pan-African Jamaican, Pan-African African to have this type of conversations. We cannot have this conversation with people who want to just
I think the brother George.
No, that is going to slow the process down.
Okay, well, brother,
we have a bigger problem. There's system.
All right. Hold on, brother. I think brother George had a question. Go ahead.
Oh.
No, I just just basic, because I think us as African Americans, when we see the Africans that do come over the last 20 years, I put over to you, Dynasty, because you always there.
Hey,
when you
hold on 1 second. There's some background noise. Can you mute
somebody got mute there.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you in Senegal, because my partner, my urban nerds partner, he just left Senegal. But when you in Senegal, Nigeria, and you on the ground and you walking, do you see do you see with your own eyes like strong pro-black that's against a lot of stuff that's just like us there on the ground? Because the reason why I'm asking that,
you don't see that on the ground here in America. You don't see people on the ground in America. I'm black, pro-black. I mean,
well, it depends on where you live. Well, the reason why I'm asking that, because see, the East Coast is a little different. If you in New York, you in Philly, you in DC, you will see it. So
you know what? It's funny you said that, because when I've been to Harlem lately, I see white people
because it's gentrified. But they there.
I don't see that stuff anymore. Really.
Yeah, they there. It's around. They're there. And see, with Philly is not as gentrified as like New York. So when you come to West Philly or parts of North Philly, it's still all black people. You got white people living in certain pockets. But let's just say the way when we were growing up, the way that we knew the pro-black scene was in America. When you are in Senegal, because I think if we saw a little more of that, I think a lot of this FBA divisiveness will probably identify a little more, because you can see people that think like you. So, and like I said, I'm ignorant too, because I've never been there. I don't know what's on the ground.
No, you won't. Like when you go, you won't see
Yeah.
people on bullhorn saying I'm blackity black 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 black. But I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
brother.
Can
Mostly
because
those people, they don't understand. They already see themselves as black. The ones in Africa, they don't even know that something as white supremacy exists.
okay.
So for them, it's an alien thing to think of. Unless if maybe they witness somebody being racist to them, or they come to America and then they realize, oh, then I have to stick with my people. Now they can identify themselves as pro-black. But in Africa, they all see themselves as black anyway. There's no such thing as, identify themselves as pro-black. They already pro-black. So anybody invaded there that don't look like them, trust me, they will get an ass whooping. Trust me, especially West Africa.
Can I say something real quick? Look, and I was listening. Michi X had a live. George Macon, you were there.
Yeah.
I saw you, and listen, she was speaking about this same subject, and what we have to do is develop some discipline, not to get too triggered by some of the stuff you see. Like she played a clip of some, I guess, Africans saying some slick, like a bunch of Africoons and trolls. I mean, really? All right, who were triggered by the foolery that Tariq did. And I listened to a little bit of that goofathon, that 15-hour goofathon he had on Twitter. Most of the people, Africans on there, were intelligent. He was just cutting them off. All right, he basically just wants to steer the session. Most people, we have to pay attention to people who are seeing through the BS. And a few people, I mean, the guy who engaged with you on Brandon's channel, basically, if he has about 5,000 of those, he's going to be making some money, Carlos, whatever. Those people, they don't represent out of the 40 million that we have on the planet. And another thing I thought of too, in Jamaica, because my family's from Jamaica, I got a chance to go visit Liberty Hall, which is Marcus Garvey's museum, which is small as hell, by the way. It's an abomination. I'm surprised a lot of these conscious dudes hasn't gone down there and donated and fix it up, but that's another story. But think about it. Marcus Garvey, we know how his life ended and everything, but he has a monument down in Jamaica that's basically going to stand the test of time. These fools, the Tariqs and these other guys, listen, eventually we're going to forget about them. Hopefully, I mean, if Tariq dies tomorrow and they build a monument after him, then we're really in trouble. But I think guys like him don't stand the test of time. People who have character, people who have some sort of substance, they're going to stand the test of time. So if that gives you any sort of hope, because I went down there and I plan to go down there, and again, this is Liberty Hall. And it's small as hell. I'm just going to tell you straight up if you've never been there. All right, the library is an abomination. But again, people like him are going to stand the test of time. No one's going to build no monument for these fools. So let them get their quick money on a couple of lemmings if they want. If that gives you any inspiration.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. The bottom line is black people, we like playing stupid and everything. This was a pivot, right? There was a big question, $2 million, right? $2 million. Where'd it go? He said, oh, we're gonna go build a museum in Atlanta and everything like that. You think he's not spending that money? You think he's not vacation, slipping and dipping and double dipping and everything? Of course he is, And the bottom line, it pains him the fact that he might have to one day be accountable for that money, right? Because time's been 6 months now, 7 months now, right? And so the bottom line is let's out of nowhere, let's pull a topic out of nowhere. And he knows for a fact. This is another thing. I listened to Empowering ADOS and them talk about, we weren't even talking about black, we just talk about immigration. Now, all throughout the here, they never talk about Mexican everything, right? What makes you think that when he said, does immigration benefit Black America, right? Are we supposed to believe they were talking about Mexicans and everybody? No. That was it's not even a serious conversation about immigration, right? It's because we look at Black America the way we vote. We vote for a party of immigrants, Democrats, right? So that's what Black America wants. So therefore, when you put that up there, the immigrants and everything, of course, Nigerians, Somalis, and everybody else is going to say, what are you talking about? Because we're in the Black world. Your content. Now, if a white person say, immigrants benefit America, right? He said Black America. Who's the closest going to be the closest to Black America as far as immigration? Black immigrants, right? when a white person talks about it, he talks about Mexicans, light-skinned Mexicans, and everybody, Asians, and everybody else who's going to assimilate more with the white society, right? So therefore, when you say you put out a thing, a Twitter thing saying the black people, Black America benefit from immigration, you know that's going to bring in immigrants, right? And no disclaimer, like we're not talking. This is not about black immigrants. We're talking about immigrants in general. Then when he did talk about that, right, there was no stats on, not one mention of Joe Biden flowing in Mexicans and everybody else all over the country, right?
Sanctuary cities.
Sanctuary cities. No talk about that. So you put it out there, right? And then it just becomes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So the other person saying, no, I wasn't talking about you guys. I was talking about these Mexicans that were coming over here in the dark of night, which would have been a legitimate question, right? Because they're going to take jobs from black people and everything like that, whatever. But that wasn't the case, because that leads me to conclude that the thing was to bait black people into talking about that, right? Because it blew up it was the number one trending thing. It was trending big in South Africa, the immigrants, Black America, right? So therefore, everybody's talking about this, right? So that buys Tariq more time to scam and do his scam business on the side and everything like that. Yo, the bottom line, black people, wake the fuck up, right? And the bottom line is this: don't let this guy divide us. When we have our issues between, and I agree with a lot of FBA ADOS points, about stuff like admissions of college and everything. They got a lot of good points. But these people are not the people to be forums like this is where we should be talking about this, right? Not on this, going back and forth, showing pictures of famished Africans and Africans calling African Americans crack mothers and all stuff like this. That's not the way. Let's not bring ourselves down to that level.
I'll say this, right? And because I've done many videos over the years criticizing Africans and criticizing my own people here in America. As African Americans, my George Making 1 and 2 channel. I go in on Africans, I go in on African Americans. I think that Africa, West Africa, where we come from, has their issues, and they have to get their thing together. They response Senegal, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, a lot of those places, they're responsible for getting their shit together in their country, right? But so are we. My thing that we have is as African Americans, we too divided. It's like 3 different African Americans. You got elite blacks, lower class blacks, and then blacks like in the middle. And none of us really work together, get along. Like we're divided on so many different groups. Like our doors are never locked; they left wide open. So when other immigrant groups come here, they could just do and say whatever they want and behave any way they want because we don't got our shit tight. Like as African Americans, no matter all the shit we invented, all the rights that executive orders that we forced to get pushed on the federal books. Today, as a people, we're still separated and squandered. Like we're not moving together as a unit. So when other immigrants groups come here from their poor countries, they come to America to get the best of everything that they can get. They don't associate with us as African Americans because we don't got our shit together. We don't have a shit together where they can come in and respect. Then we get mad when they come in because it's not even a lot of them. It's like, well, how many Africans in America? Like 3 million, 4 million altogether. It's not a lot of them. But when they come here, we got a problem with that group. But the real problem ain't with the Africans or the people from the Caribbean. It's us as a people. We don't got our shit together, man. And when they come, you know what they do? They put their little flags up. They bound together as a group because they're the minority blacks, and they form their own little shit, and they end up outdoing us within 5 years. Some of them can't even speak English, but they come here and make $1 million right off the black because they come right into the black community, open up shop, go to school, they make money right off of you. And then we complain about them. But as an African American, today, other than psychological, ain't nothing stopping us from achieving the shit that we want to achieve and making money off of each other and building up our own shit. But because we don't got our house in order, we're not respecting our grandparents.
Let me say this, brother George, right? It's somebody named Trey Hampton says this is what I'm talking about. The ADOS FBA movement, if you want to be relevant in the next 3 months, you better address this, right? There are people who are don't like being considered African and black. That's what everybody on this panel has at least 90% African DNA, you know, something like that. 85, 90% African Americans, right?
I got 62, but that's
62.
all right.
Hey, George, shame on you. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
got a Cuban mom, man. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. But the whole thing is the majority of us got majority African American. We as culture is 99% African American, right? So we're African Americans. Bottom line is this, right? There are people who keep putting out this stuff online about FBA so are you FBA? You say founders of Black America, right? Indians aren't black. They were red men, you know, red. They have straight hair, red skin, everything like that, you know, and their race was basically wiped out because they mixed it with white. That's what Indians went. They mixed it with the whites, you know, and a lot of white people have Indian blood in them, black people don't. So therefore, these people are claiming Aboriginal. They're claiming that they were already here. So what do you? They say when we say we already here, where were you at? Harlem in 1500? Were you in Detroit in 1500? Right, making ricochet cars up there. We was up there building cars in Detroit, right?
Yeah, let me debunk that. Let me debunk that theory of them. Actually, yes, somehow they have a point because when they say that they were here before Christopher Columbus, they do have a point because in the history, there was a king that actually traveled by the name of King Abubakar.
That's a myth. Never been proven though. I studied that. Abu Tari was discovered. But the thing is, you understand something about North America, right? North America, this cold climate right here, North America, right? Knowing Africans, why would Africans? First of all, the idea of the let me cut you off, brother Mara. I have to say, right? The African is not an explorer, right? We had historically before the Europeans and Arabs came, we had everything we needed on the continent. So there's no need to explore.
There's no need. There's no need.
So this idea of Africans getting out of their boat and sailing around the world, that's a black man with a white man's mind. I'm gonna explore. White people have to explore because they got to bring back spices and stuff to the disease-ridden communities and everything. Africans didn't have to do that. The Mali Empire in West Africa was the largest trading system in the world. Goods
actually the richest, the
richest and the largest trading system in the world. Goods as far away as India and China was on the Mali streets, you know. There was nowhere. We was interconnected. The world was interconnected through the Mali Empire, the trade system. You know that stretched all the way to internally, all the way to the down to the coast of East Africa. You know, even to the Congo. That's how far the Mali Empire was. So therefore, Europeans had to find an ultimate route around the Africa to the east, right, to bypass the trans-Sahara trade and the Silk Road, right. So therefore, that's the history of European exploration, right? Out of which America was born, right? This is right. We in other words, let me tell you right now, I'm gonna hurt a lot of people feeling. We don't belong here. This whole thing of being black in America was a complete accident of history and everything like that. We're insane trying to be Negroes in America. What we should be doing is building Africa and giving the next generation a chance to go home. You know,
actually, that's why I would like to put an input because it seems like a lot of people are sleeping. That's the same way they used to sleep on China in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now look at where China is. And right now, as I'm speaking to you, there's infrastructure being built, and I'm telling you, the gate is gonna close not long from now. Africa. The gate of Africa is going to close. So I'm telling people who have interest in Africa, they better go get their citizenship or passport or something. Because once Africa develops and that infrastructure is being built, it's called Agenda 2063. So once that is being built, the first to come will always be the best. They will enjoy life, basically, because you guys have the skills already, and that's what they're gonna be looking for. And they're gonna slot you guys in those buildings.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like
right.
We have all we were already here trolls in the chat right now. You know, these people are basically all mixed. I would love for somebody to come on like tonight, right? If you want to debate me on this, pick up that link, right? And I'm gonna end your shit right tonight. You know, you're gonna see why they call me Thanos, right? I'm gonna destroy you. If you believe that you were already here and the Olmecs were black and all the stuff like that, all this nonsense, those foolishness, nonsense, everything, anything to keep you here in America, we were already here. Technically, black people here. No, because you're comfortable, right? You're comfortable in America, right? Because you don't want to fight. Pan-African means that we're going to have to turn the world upside down again and everything, and we're going to have confront the world again as men. Right now, we're not men. We leave our women, our children, everybody else, the future of our children to another race of people. White man provide for us. White man give us a job. White man give me a job in the NFL. You know, you raise us in the NFL. The black man looks like a friggin' bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got friggin' Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre go form at the NFL this year. Jay-Z might be a co-owner of a team. You know, that's the mindset, the sick mindset of the black man in America. He doesn't want nothing of his own. He don't want to build nothing of his own. All he wants to do.
Let me say this too, though. I'm gonna jump off of this. I gotta run. I agree with you, Kyler, but I wanna caution and be careful, because when we talk like that as African Americans about our own, there's other sick Africans too that don't think like some of the Africans that listen to hear you say that.
Yeah, like you empower those village ones. You empower them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you to the brother that made the thing about the FBA such and such panel. Listen, for me, I speak for myself. I'm not against my brothers and sisters in the continent or the Caribbean. My mother's from the Caribbean, right? My father's African American. I'm not against none of them. I'm not against FBA or ADOS. I'm pro my people. I don't see my, like I said, to me, the leaders of those organizations ain't the problem. It's the people on the ground that clearly see what's going on and they not supporting the things that they complain about. So I'm not going to shit on FBA or ADOS, because a lot of my people that I love and care about is a part of that thought process. My thing is trying to represent and be the best that I can be example to the Africans that come here and my people here on the ground. So my thing is we got to do a psychological cleansing of our people, man, on both sides. We both got issues. That's why I'm cautious. I criticize my people, but I don't want to say that the Black American man just ain't this, because other groups see that and they hear us say that, then they clip that shit and say how they think about their own people. So we got to be careful. And I will do the same for Africans. The same way we got African Americans cooning, I could pull out some French Africans or some Africans in the UK doing coon shit. So, but then
you want me to add all that?
I'm gonna end it here because I gotta run. I'm gonna end it. I'm ready to close it out right now. All I'm saying is me as African American. I love my people globally. I disagree with certain things, but I'm pro my people. So I'm not against either group, nor am I against. We gotta work with the people that's willing to be worked with. That's it. Those of us that's woke, and we say we woke, and there's a million of us, then we ain't got no excuse. If I can go from here 5 hours across in the plane ride all the way to the West Coast, down to the Caribbean, and I can find Black people that's woke that think like us, then we got a movement. What are we doing? We got a movement. There's no reason why we can't raise $1 million. Tariq already showed us that it can be done. It can be done. We gotta get our shit in order, make it professional, do the right shit, and build our own shit up. That's just the way I'm at with it. I don't really focus on what they doing or the other groups doing. I'm on a panel with brothers that's in the continent, brothers that's from the continent in the chat room. What the fuck are we doing? What we doing? That's where I'm at with it. Mm-hmm. So thanks for having me on, Dynasty.
Thank you.
No problem. If we're gonna criticize them, then it's incumbent upon us now to show and prove and put something next to them and say, well, we got this. That's all I'm saying.
I put up my organization up against anybody. The work we're doing on the continent, man. I got every country in Africa. We got groups of people doing work on the continent. They network with each other and everything.
Well, we got to bring it to the people, and where people in America got to become a movement.
The app. You can download the app. The BAL Global Pipeline, BAIO Global Pipeline on your app store and everything, and that's all social network right there. You be plugged in with people from all across the diaspora, Africa. We have chapters for each country. We have groups and everything like that, you know. So the bottom line, and then you're connected with real. When you see Nigerians and African American brothers talking about projects they're working on in Nigeria and stuff like that, you know, all the stuff, this nonsense we see outside of the BAO is just.
Well, you know what, Kyler? We got to find a way to make that. We got to find a way to make that a movement in the consciousness of our people. The same
join us. So join us. So we could get everybody on that social network, right? And cut out Twitter, cut out stuff like that. I'm dead serious, right? I want to close ranks. We need to grow our own social network platforms that believe in this, right? Because there's a lot of us that believe in this, you know?
Right. So if in the chat, if you disagree with certain things that you see, and you got as all these like-minded people, we ain't got no excuse. Because if we criticizing them, but we ain't working together, we look like the fools. We look like the fools. It's time to show and prove. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for having me on, Dynasty.
All right, brother Maker, we appreciate you coming on.
I'm gonna step down too, guys, but I just want to say again, Liberty Hall, Kingston, Jamaica. All right, and you know, if you get a chance, just go over that. But that's like one of the fathers of Pan-Africanism. He should have a much bigger library down there. But just remember, that's still around. These guys you see, don't get discouraged. They're basically just Putin in the wind, man. They're just gonna be dust in the wind, in my opinion. So keep up the good work, y'all, and I'll see y'all.
I appreciate it. Let's see here. Ben Uko, go ahead, bro.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good. All right.
Hey, I think, Kala, you have said it all for years and years. I've been listening to you. I've been knowing you since when you were on that, Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. Whoa, man, you going way back, man.
Oh, 2016. That's when I first discovered you. When you and Hob, Mr. Nabu, you guys used to do shows. So now you got the new person. Hey, what? I got a question before I continue. Where can I get those archives of those shows that you had, the previous shows you done?
Well, what you call a lot? We have the archives of the show. This guy named My Name Is My Name has it. He's still friends with Holopsism. And then what you call, and also you can go on blogtalkradio.com/the Black BAIO. I think that's the thing. And also Colonization on blogspot.com. I have a lot of shows on there, a lot of archive shows. Blog Talk Radio Colonization. You know, you get a lot of stuff on there. You got a lot of stuff on there, so they're there. They're there.
Oh, so even the ones you do on Wednesday night, they're all there, right?
Yeah. The ones there, we had two Blog Talk Radio shows. You had my Blog Talk Radio show, which is Colonization, and then in 2016 we created the BAO Blog Talk Radio show, right? That lasted for like about 2 years before YouTube came out with their streaming stuff, you know. So there's you go to BAO, the Black African Infrastructure on Blog Talk Radio, and Kala Nation on YouTube on YouTube.
On Blog Talk.
Blog Talk Radio. You can find out all the archives and whatnot. They're still generating views like you won't believe.
Oh yeah, I think you talked about that on the BAO.
Those are classic episodes, man. That's what all right here. All the stuff right here was built in the BAO group and everything like that. Also, like everybody, we put it all together. So now people have a frame of reference to work from, which is land, infrastructure, nationhood. You know, and with the idea, ultimately, we to build an Afghanistan for the diaspora in Africa, the Black African Americans in Africa, and bring Africa under one government, right? As one government. We need to have Africa as one government. Get rid of the French, you know, get rid of the British, get rid of all the monetary systems, get rid of all that nonsense and everything, kick out all these freaking people, and make Africa for the Africans. Africa for the Africans. Those are my signs.
Get rid of the borders. Get rid of these.
Number 4, Africans. That's a sign right there. You know, bottom line, get rid of all these freaking people, these parasites and degenerates and everything. Get them the hell out of here, and let it build a pipeline, BAO pipeline of intelligence, logistics, and intellect and science and everything to the continent. Bring us all together and everything like that. But the bottom line is the world's going to change, right? You can't be singing Yankee Doodle Dandy and whatnot, you know? You can't be singing, I'm proud to be an American. You gotta make a choice. You can't serve two masters, you know? So
yes, brother. This is what I will actually try to put. This is just my own input on how we can actually help ourselves to come out of this hole that we are in. I feel like in every entity, every walks of life, there is an Pan-African amongst them. Exclude the military. I'm talking about everything else. Why don't these people in these workplaces, usually when they're off, have meetings, start holding meetings? Because I understand that's how some of our ancestors used to do it. Hold meetings for the agenda of the young youth and our children? What can we do to help them come out of this kind of situation that we have been put in? You know, I'm talking about from the police to the people that work in the courthouse. I went to a courthouse one day. All the ladies that work behind the clerk are black. Why don't they hold a meetings on how to help their own, help our own people, help the youth? They're just busy eating chicken, partying when they're off, when they're supposed to hold meetings. Because it's not just white folks that do this. All other groups do this. They hold regular meetings. I've seen the Latinos do it. I've seen the Chinese do it. The only people I don't see do it is us. That's why we are so separated.
Cause we don't deserve
Because we don't speak as one voice. We don't hold regular meetings. Once we start holding these regular meetings, I'm talking about the black folks in the police field, hold meetings. The clerks, hold meetings. The people that work in the offices, hold meetings. And then we have one head that they can go and lay whatever plan that they have put together, and then that body can transfer it or take it to the head, so they can know what they're supposed to do. Speak with one mindset.
Yes,
the more we do it, the more the ones who are colonized, their brain has been colonized, is going to be uncolonized. Even the music industry.
One second.
Might jump on that bandwagon.
Brother TH, unmute yourself.
Yo.
Go ahead.
All right, man, I got a few questions for Kala, man. I'm just trying to clarify some of the FBA confusion I think we're hearing on here. Like, you were saying that there weren't like black people over here, you know, in like the 1500s, 1400s and all that. And are you aware of what the book Negroes de Terra is?
Let me see. Let me guess. It's on Google and Amazon. It probably has an author that's never been peer reviewed and everything like that, and basically like self-published, right?
I mean, I was trying to have a real conversation with
it is a real conversation. When you,
okay, well, it was like the Portuguese and Spanish.
Hold on, brother. When you start with a book, right? First of all, you got to talk about, okay, this book right here has been referenced by this scholar. This has been verified. It's been peer reviewed.
They can look it up, man. This is deflection. This is deflection, though.
Hold on.
You already jumped on me, bro. I didn't even say nothing.
First of all, because I know where you're going.
Where am I going?
With a book and whatnot, and talk about just because it's a book, you know.
You see what they do.
Go, TH. Go ahead.
Thank you, man. Look, okay. Anyways, the Spanish and the Portuguese came over, and they were the first ones to come to Brazil. And then you can go on YouTube right now. Brown.edu held a symposium about it called Indigenous American Slavery, and the base of the slaves in America. When the white people came over here, they enslaved the indigenous population, and they referred to them, the Portuguese and the Spanish, in the 1400s and 1500s, referred to them as Negroes de Terra, which meant.
So Tiers, let me jump in real quick. So why did they bring African slaves for labor?
What are you talking about? They were bringing. They brought Native Americans over to Africa first, and brought.
Lord!
Oh my God!
Yo, dude, man, get him.
Who colonized West Africa? I'm being honest. Let me talk. You can go look it up. Brown.edu. This is academia. This is academia.
No, TH, let me tell you what happened. So
no, I'm not talking Dan Calloway stuff or none of that. Let me finish. Y'all not let me finish.
Let me tell you what happened. So when Europeans first came to Brazil, right?
Negroes de Terra, blacks of this land.
When Europeans first came to the West, all right, they attempted to enslave the indigenous
groups. That's fake story. That's fake history.
No, it's
they did enslave them. They did enslave them. Are you saying Europeans did not enslave indigenous Americans?
Brother, okay, so brother, can I finish?
I never got to finish.
Tell you what happened.
My fault.
Let me finish. Let me tell you what happened. They came to America, the Americas. They attempted to enslave the indigenous populations. The indigenous populations could not handle the work. So what happened? The indigenous populations died off
And
from
diseases too.
the
That's
diseases
mythology.
from the.
That's
They
freaking
died
history,
off.
man.
They all died off.
What are you talking about, man?
So what was the 1705
Lord,
Virginia
this
slave
is how
code? What
bad-
was
this
the
is how bad-
1705
this is
Virginia
how
slave
bad when
code?
people aren't
What was the
educated and they get up on these
1705
platforms
Virginia
and they
slave
think
code?
they think I'm gonna
What
go
was
easy
the
on them. Be nice.
17
No, I'm not gonna be nice to these guys anymore. No.
What was the 1705 Virginia slave code where they lumped Indians and mulattoes and Africans in one single category?
This is Dave Calloway.
No, that's the 1705 Virginia slave code. What did Booker T. Washington mean when he said, "I venture to say that the amount of Indian blood in the American Negro is very much larger than anyone who has not investigated"? You're not gonna let me talk. You're not gonna let me read Booker T. Washington. He gonna talk because he was there. Booker T. Washington, he gonna talk.
Oh Lord, man.
Okay, so can I read Booker T. Washington's quote? Can I quote Booker T. Washington and you can argue him?
Bro, you're preaching a bunch of little tidbits and everything. We know where you go. It's nonsense. It's lies.
So they're all lying.
This is what it is, right? First of all, let me ask you a question, right?
So Brown professors are lying. UC Santa Barbara professors are lying.
Let me say this, right? There was no real definitive before the Bacon Rebellion in America, right? 1680. There was no real written law definition of race in America, right? Black people had the same status as white people, as like indentured service and everything, right? After the Bacon Rebellion in 1680, right? They said they did a clever thing. They created like a one-drop rule, and they separated blacks, Indians, and whites together in the race together. And they told white people that you aren't like them, right? You may be a criminal in Europe and everything, but we're gonna make you white. Same thing the French did, right? The French.
That's actually not true. Hold on. That's not true though. But all right.
Don't want to know real history. He wants.
All right. I'm saying the Henning Statute of Virginia, 1705.
The bottom line.
It's called semantic change, and you're trying to play with semantic change.
The bottom line. Let me tell you something. You're not Indian. You don't have any Indian blood in there and whatnot.
You're confused thinking Indians are a monolithic ethnic group. Do you think Indians are a monolithic ethnic group? Everybody hears these same Mongolian things.
There's no such thing as a black Indian, right? The black Indians were just like black Americans. There was no such thing as black Indians. There was no such thing as black Aboriginals and whatnot. Your ass is from Africa. Deal with it. You know.
Yes, we are all from. Everybody's from Africa. We know that. Everybody's from Africa. We know that. You're right.
Now we all. White people are from Africa. Indians are from Africa.
Oh wait, white people aren't from Africa. Wait, white people aren't from Africa?
No, white people are not from Africa. No.
Okay, all right.
Chinese are not from Africa. Arabs are not
from
Africa.
Okay, but a Chinese doctor will say they came from Africa. Got it. Okay, so everybody didn't come from Africa. Got it.
Africa is for Africans and black people. You know what I'm saying?
I know everybody didn't come from Africa. I got it. Everybody didn't come from Africa. This is some new history.
Okay, no, this is real history.
I know everybody didn't come from Africa. So where did humans start?
Okay, hold on. Dino Greens. Go ahead, Dino.
Hey, how you doing, big bro? I just want to say, Carla, much love and respect to you.
Thank you.
Dynast, much love and respect to you. I'm going to start off saying that I'm a Nigerian American, and I'm very knowledgeable about the history from my family. I just came back from Nigeria like a couple of weeks ago, and yo, this shit is crazy. Excuse my language. This is crazy. And truthfully, I really think that this is some like government agent stuff.
No, don't give him too much credit. Don't give him.
I got you.
These are just Negroes. Don't give him too much.
These are Indians undermining. These are Africans undermining foundational Black Americans.
No. Ain't no Africans undermining no foundational Black Americans.
Denying an ethnic group.
The problem is, like, when you look at chronologically, right? When you look at chronologically, I was just on Brandon's show, Pan African Strikes Back or whatever, right? When you look at chronologically, before 2015, we wasn't talking any of this stuff about how we was not related or anything like that.
We're
right?
related. We're very related. We're an amalgamation of Africans and the Black we already
is. My brother, I heard you speak, bro. And let me speak my piece.
Everybody cut me off. What are you talking about? I didn't get to say shit.
You just jumped in, bro.
Anyway, Holloway, let me say nothing.
All right, so around 2015, I swear to God, man, like, I was saying this stuff earlier, not too long ago.
Dino, if I can interject, I'm gonna tell you what happened. And me and Kyle talked about this before. And I'm gonna pass you back to Mike. Kyle, don't interject too much, please don't. Black Panther is when all this shit started happening.
Tariq Nasheed got Hidden Colors in 2011, and Aboriginals in the title. You can look it up.
Oh my God!
True or false? True or false?
I've never seen any Hidden Colors.
Yeah, true or false? Hey, type it in Google right now. Look up Hidden Colors 2011 Aboriginals in the title.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think once
keep hiding it because nobody watched.
Yo, once our people watch Hidden Colors and seen a clip of some dark Chinese people in the bushes, that's when black folks lost their damn mind here in America, bro. It started saying, "Oh, we got black people all over the place," and then that's when all kind of made up shit started. That's when people started making up shit all over the place, dog. But truth be told,
you made it up. Got it.
Yeah, documented, brother. All right, so I will just say this, my man. Right.
Walter Plecker made up. Got it.
Yeah. All I would just say is this, right? I truly believe that there is an effort, like something where people start believing that they're not African.
We're African. Stop saying that. We're African.
No.
Everybody says that.
Or start debunking the history that happened in the last 500 years.
It happened. Nobody's saying that.
500 years.
They just omitted the indigenous part.
Come on, bro. I'm not trying to argue, bro. We're men. We are men. Let's talk. Let me talk. You listen.
I'm not gonna let you just lie on FBA. You're lying on FBA.
That's what men do.
You're lying. You're saying we're saying we're not African. I'm saying we're African.
What I'm trying to say is this.
Hey, let the brother finish, please. Go ahead.
He can't lie and say we're saying we're not African. That's misinformation.
DATH, you'll get your chance, bro.
At the end of the day, right? Like let's point out the truth. When we looking at influencers like Tariq Nasheed and the Dane Collarways, right? You got to say to yourself, like, how in the world does something like this actually have as much power as it does right now in today's world, right? Because it plays on the insecurities that already exist in our people already. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, like, let's be honest. Growing up here, especially I'm from the East Coast, you can hear how I talk. On the East Coast, bro, I done heard all kind of shit. Like, I'm Nigerian American. I done heard all kind of fucking insults or whatever. It didn't make or break me or whatever. Like, I am what I am. You know what I'm saying? I done heard all kind of insults from Caribbean, from other Africans, from African American, or whatever it is. It is what it is, right? But like when we have, let's have a honest conversation about this stuff. What it is right now, Tariq Nasheed was, as soon as the talk of the reparations things came into play, and they was able to, Tariq Nasheed, people like Tariq Nasheed, I forgot the bald-headed chick's name or whatever the case, and Yvette and Parnell or whatever. Once they was able to use the reparations talk and start playing on the emotions of our people and start introducing some shit.
I'll tell you about that. I have to tell you, the movie Black Panther. Go ahead, brother. We'll talk
about the movie Black Panther. I mean, I feel like in all of it is a collect. All of it, like, I feel like my brother. Sorry, it's so much in my mind right now. Break it down, dog. Go ahead, man.
Dinah Samir was going to Africa, right? The movie Black Panther came out, right? They were predicting it was going to be a flop. They said black people don't want to support that and everything. Then when the movie not only succeeded, right? It had everything. It had the red, black, and green. It had everything. Everything they did. They really did their homework. They were watching shows like this. They was watching Prince Dinah Samir. And the bottom line, the movie came out, the largest grossing single Marvel hero character MCU, Black Panther, $3 billion worldwide. When it was a smashing success, all black cast, everything like that for the most part, right? Then everybody started doing the Wakanda dances, right? And everybody's like, yo, we need our own Wakanda. So the Pan-African movement, Africa, and then the Killmonger character, it's sort of connected to sort of stuff that goes on between African Americans and Africans. Y'all living over here good while we're suffering in America. That threw them into it then, because before that, right, the narrative was We were the ones that were lucky because we got out of Africa, you know? We were
Right,
lucky.
right.
And so what that
Man,
movie did was change the
there
whole
it
dynamic. Now, TH right here, he wants to say
Can I
that
say some stuff though without getting interrupted?
TH wants to say that he came from we came from Africa, but he didn't come from Africa.
No, that's not what I'm saying, bro. If I wouldn't have came on here if I was going to get cut off every time.
You can't serve two masters, bro.
No, what are you talking about?
Let me ask you a question.
Can I talk though? Can I just read my little part? Because he's talking about Dino Green.
Question. Let me ask you a question. Now shut up. Were your ancestors victims of the mind for the transatlantic slave trade? Were they brought here?
Absolutely. So you. So
what are you talking about then? Why are you?
Okay, now here's where I'm on some like I don't see how this is so confusing to everybody. Here's what I'm about to say. There was not a monolithic Indian population. Indian is just a made up term. There were people that looked like us that were already here, and they were enslaved.
Why did they call them Africans? Why did they call them Africans? Why did they call them Indians then?
What are you talking about? They brought Africans.
That
was my first thing I said.
Hold on. Why did Columbus call?
I get 8 seconds. Hold
on. Why did Columbus call these people Indians? Because he thought he was in India. Why did he say he was? Why did he call them Africans if they were black?
What are you talking about? We got mixed with all of them.
We're not mixed with no Indians. Indians hate you. You understand that? You go to India.
You're thinking.
Kill you, what are you talking about?
You're thinking.
Hey, but hold on. Let me interject. She makes a great point. When Christopher Columbus came, he thought he was in India, not Africa.
Actually, that's a lie too. He'd been a slave trader. Each way back, they were bringing people.
So TH. Again,
that cancels out your argument.
Wait, can I read? Can I just say?
Yeah, but TH again with Christopher Columbus.
I'm not gonna talk, bro. I see what they say. I see the setup, bro.
Okay. Again,
bro got 10 minutes straight. Bro got 10 minutes straight. Anybody say nothing?
When Christopher Columbus first came here, he thought he was in India, not Africa.
So a lot of people don't believe that. Truth be told,
oh my God,
he was coming over to enslaved people. Like this is where history got revived. Let me just say my little part. Okay, that's all I came up here to do, and I just want to just
everybody be quiet.
Can I ask you something? Are you memorize a video that you watched on YouTube or you actually read something? That's all I got to say. All right, go ahead, bro. I'm listening. Because a lot of times people like to claim that they read some shit, right? But they didn't read nothing. They just watched the video and they remembered it like down to a T, and they used it as a primary source.
Can I get 60 seconds?
Be honest, bro. Be honest, because you know what it is. A lot of our people are lying right now,
bro. It's 1 hour, 52 minutes, 8 seconds. Can I get 60 seconds without y'all trying to undermine? Y'all just intentionally undermining. I'm starting to think. Okay, here we go. 60 seconds. Ready? I'm gonna just read a few things and just tell me if this is true or false. Just say, okay. In 1712, John Norris, one of the most successful South Carolina planters in South Carolina, they exported more Indian slaves than they imported African slaves. This is a fact. Told prospective Southern planters by 15 Negro males, 18 Indian women, or just starting out.
Oh, God, man, Lord,
y'all don't believe me. Oh, God. Okay. Then the blood of the Indian did not become extinct in the slave states, for it continued to flow in the veins of the Negro. James Hugo Johnston. Look up James Hugo Johnston. Look up Frank H. Russell. Look up the 19th annual report of the Bureau of Ethnology. This is all Congress. You're laughing at Congress. You're laughing at historians. You're laughing at like documentations. And then another point though is, will Africa get rid of their ethnic groups? Because even if you want to say we're all Africans brought up by Ma'afa, that would still, after 500 years, make you a different, unique ethnic population.
Wait.
Are we a different? Are Americans? Are the Black Americans a different ethnic population? Even hold on.
No, but Kyle, I got a question, Kyle. Hold on. TH, where did they export these Native Americans to?
They were taking Native Americans from New England to Barbados. You know, America got more of our slaves from the Circum-Caribbean slave trade. That's why the books we grew up reading in school, they had to just apologize and erase. They said they had brought millions of Africans over to America, North America. They had to erase that because it was less than 3%. Less than 300,000 came here, and then 75% were male. You're bringing male slaves over to work, and 75% were male. Who were they?
That's a lie.
When they raided the villages, when they raided the Indian villages, they would keep the women to work the fields. How do you think they survived? And they would pair them with men, and the men they would sell them off to different places or kill them. so they couldn't team up. They were selling indigenous people from New England to Barbados. They were taking indigenous Haitians to Louisiana. This is all fact. You can go to brown.edu right now on YouTube.
Look, bottom line, sad, man.
They're literally native. They're just repainting the history of what happened to Africans.
Wait. Do you guys
with a Native American paintbrush?
Are you aware of the Circum-Caribbean slave
Everything that has happened with African slaves and what happened to Africa?
Yes, we're also
repainting it with a Native American paintbrush. I see what it is. Why do you think
you're
every single time?
Native American
Why do you think every single time when these weird Aboriginal niggas talk, right? They always be like, "Look at the pyramids in Mexico." Why you niggas always?
No. The
person.
Why y'all always want ethnic groups? We can't have ethnic groups. Wait, y'all want ethnic groups? We can't be different.
All right, my bad.
Y'all want to come over here? Y'all want to come over here and be black? You want to come over here and be black like we're all one? Then we go over there and it's 500 different ethnic groups. How does that work?
What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? You don't know. The urban Africa is urban Africa. You go to urban like Lagos.
Oh, so there's no tribes in Africa? There's no tribes in Africa? Are there?
No, there's not in the urban areas. You know, in the rural areas.
So nobody says they're Igbo.
I'm Igbo.
They're Nigerian.
Okay, so stop saying Igbo is made up. Stop saying your Igbo is made up.
Nigga, I'm Igbo.
We're all black. No, we're all black. We're all black. No, we're all black.
I can speak to you in Igbo. Kedu, Dalu. Listen, I'm Igbo, nigga. Yo, don't make no shit up, bro. I'm sorry, Dennis. I know you don't want the line. Yo, I'm Igbo, bro. I'm Igbo.
And I'm FBA.
Alebino, where you at? Alebino.
Meaning I can trace my ancestry
back, bro.
Before the 1900s.
I'm Igbo.
Can you trace your ancestry?
Listen, let me tell you something.
Man, we're making progress here tonight. I want to ask my FBA brother here, right? ADOS FBA brother, right?
No, I'm not ADOS. ADOS is a group. FBA is an ethnic group.
No.
ADOS is a political group. FBA is an ethnic group.
You got one. I got one too, bro.
Sorry.
ADOS is a LGBTQ group.
There we go. Listen, I'm Nigerian for real.
Get out of it.
No. FBA is an ethnic group.
Look. It was very clear to me last night when I was watching Empower ADOS that it's ADOS FBA. So I got to put you guys in one thing, right? But what I'm seeing now, there's a spectrum.
Okay, so then you're Ethiopian. Where's your rears? Where's your rears then? You and Ethiopians, where's your rears? I got it. Where's your rears? Where Kafirs and all that? Got it.
Hold up. Now, Nakmeezy, right? He got
Akatas. We're Akatas.
Decision, man. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, man, because it seems like Tariq. Let me say something about Tariq, right? Hey,
what is an Akata? What is an Akata?
Look, bro, I'm talking, man. Let me give me.
Is that a distinguishment? Is that a distinction?
I know. The FBA stands for.
No, what is an Akata? What is an Akata?
You know what I'm saying?
What is an Akata?
Foundational buck broken Akatas, FBA. You know.
But what is an Akata? If we're not any different, what is an Akata? If we're not any different, what is an Akata?
You do realize that
if we're not any different, what is an Akata?
The bottom line, I'm an Akata. How about that? I'm proud of it. I'm a proud Akata. You know?
So you're different. You're a different ethnic group. So you're a different ethnic group. So you're a different ethnic group. I'm keeping it on point. I'm keeping it on topic. Deflections.
Let me tell you something.
You're a different. Are you on record as a different ethnic group?
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just take what Tariq Nasheed said and then use it as a talking point. Don't use it as a talking point, bro. Don't use it as a talking point. The word Akata or whatever the case, man. Don't use it as a talking point.
Are you distinguishing an ethnic group?
You just probably found out what Akata probably means yesterday.
For the 10th time. For the 10th time, my African brothers, for the 10th time, is Akata distinguishing the ethnic group?
Yo, but haven't you been calling Africans?
Is Akata saying we're different?
Everybody got a name. Everybody got their own little insults or whatever.
And Akatas are calling themselves foundational Black Americans. Do you get it?
All right, listen, bro. Listen.
No. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Listen, my brother.
Do you get it? Akatas are calling themselves African Americans. So yes, we're different.
No. You want to know what's so crazy, bro?
Name us. We can't name ourselves. Got it. Thank you.
You want to know what's so crazy? You know how many people that
you want to name us? That's what's crazy. You want to name us
African American How many
You want
people
to
out here
name
that are
us?
half
We
Cape
can't name
Verdean,
ourselves.
half African American?
You want to
How many
name
people that
us?
are half
We can't name
Ghanaian,
ourselves.
half
hold
African
on.
American,
You
or
want
whatever
to
the case?
name
We've
us.
been
The
Hold on,
mixing
hold on.
for the
Let me
past
start real
how
quick. Let me
many
start real
years?
quick.
That's why this
Hold
talk
on,
that we talking
Hey,
about.
let the
Matter of
host
fact,
talk, bro. Let
if
the
you
host
ever,
talk, bro.
bro, if you
Hey,
ever
don't
go
get
to,
sensitive, bro.
matter
Don't
of
get
fact,
sensitive,
today,
bro.
if you
Hey,
ever
don't
go
get
to
sensitive, bro.
any
Let the
other,
host talk. Hey, hush it. Let the host talk.
no,
hold on. Hold on.
Hey, hush. Let the host talk.
You said, hush,
Calm down.
bro.
Hey, I said
Listen,
zip it. Let the
stop
host
acting
talk.
like a woman, bro.
Let me
Zip
Stop
it.
acting like a little punk.
Zip it.
I gotta mute. All right, TH. So the term Akata, all right, Nigerians in Nigeria call other Nigerians who left Nigeria Akata. And I'm not talking about via the slave trade. Like it's not, it's if you left,
Okay,
if
what's the
you're an
Jair?
immigrant,
What's the Jair?
I have no clue what a Jair is.
Ethiopian term for Black Americans.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
so are
right,
you trying to,
okay.
I'm saying that there's a clear distinguishment that you guys are pretending to not see.
Who cares?
That's the whole point of
What's the point of
reparations.
all
No,
this, man?
when it comes to reparations, it
Give me a
matters. When it comes to
Hey, check this
reparations,
out.
foundational
Hey,
Black
Diana,
Americans
did you
care.
see
No,
Ethiopia's president?
he said a great point. He made a great point. When it comes to
Diana, did you see
reparations,
Ethiopia's president's speech today?
it matters. Does that make sense?
Okay, so
Politically,
so basically,
politically, does that make sense?
I got it now. I got it. I got it. So basically, the vitriol towards immigrants is because when the white man cuts that reparations check, which he's never gonna do, you want to make sure that immigrants don't get that reparations check. That's what this is about. And I get it. You know what? I
Meaning because we're the ones
I get it.
Are you aware of Nilly Fuller when he?
Diana, let me ask
Do you know what
TH
Nilly
a question.
Fuller means by buffer class? Do you know what Nilly Fuller means by buffer class?
Oh, we know. Well, check us out. Bottom line is,
Meaning they will bring you guys over to undermine us and do stuff like this, which will undermine what we're owed. Because this conversation isn't helping.
undermining what?
I'm saying, are you guys helping FBA reparations right now? Are you helping FBA reparations right now?
Okay, this is about. So
I'm asking, are you helping FBA reparations right now?
So TA, so this is about you just.
I just had a question. No, I answered my question. Are you helping FBA reparations right now?
There's no reparations. We're gonna make sure.
Okay, so you guys gave up, and that goes back to the culture of freedom fighting. We fight for stuff over here.
That ain't freedom. There ain't no fight for nothing, man.
Okay, so we don't fight for nothing. So the face of the black, so the freedom fighting struggle isn't FBA.
They're gonna rise.
Man, you Negroes gonna throw a rock.
Okay, so the face of the freedom fighting struggle isn't Black America.
They're gonna rise up.
So wait, Black America isn't known for freedom fighters.
Black America is a freaking running joke. Black America is a running freaking joke. Let me tell you something like that. You don't know, Black America right now, because of people like you and everybody else right now, we are basically a running joke. Everyone, basically,
I would say it's because of white supremacy, but
everybody takes from us like it's taking candy from a baby. You don't
yes,
have
that's why we need reparations. What is Claude Anderson? Are you aware of Claude Anderson's work? Claude Anderson wanted to call us native black. Claude Anderson wanted to call us native Black Americans. Claude Anderson wanted to call us native Black Americans.
They're not like freaking.
At the end of the day, hold on, caller. At the end of the day, the new age FBA ADOS ain't trying to.
Don't stop numbers with
ADOS. You won't break a sweat. You're not gonna break a fingernail. You're not gonna rise up or bum rush anything. Okay, you're gonna keep it on YouTube and conferences. That's it. Outside of that, you niggas ain't doing shit. All right, so miss me with the fighting for reparations. All right, you ain't doing shit. All right.
I suggest you get a job. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that to anybody. Oh wait, so you're not for us getting what was owed to us?
I'm for. We didn't say or not, but the idea.
No, but your energy, the energy. We sense energy. We sense the immigrant energy. The immigrant energy is obvious. It's obvious, bro.
Again, my point. Okay.
No, I'm saying your energy is obvious.
Descendants are we owed?
Now, you clearly don't like FBA, bro. You clearly don't.
No, I like FBA. I'm just making a point. You need.
I want to know which one will FBA stand up.
You're not doing it. Let's just stop.
I mean, if you're gonna play confused about what an ethnic group definition is, then I can't talk like that.
Okay, but again, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're gonna argue with me and Kala on YouTube,
You go to bed, you go to
That's
work,
all
you
it
pay
is.
your taxes.
I'm saying that's what everybody's doing. That's what everybody's doing. And that's what dude, the Chinese are in Africa doing the same. Y'all ain't we're all screwed. I get that.
You're deflecting again.
I'm just saying we're all the same. We're all in a fight. We're all in a fight, bro.
You're
We're
not
all
going
in a
to
fight.
fight anybody. You're not going
but
to
America's
fight.
not my end game, man. We're winning in Africa, bro.
Wait, what? You're winning in Africa?
But mine is winning in Africa.
Okay.
So the bottom line, it ain't for us, but it ain't like that.
Okay, got it.
We're not going to be having this discussion long term.
My whole point was just so you would stop saying we're trying to not say we're black and not say we're African. Because we're saying we're black and we're saying we're African. We're just saying we were blended in with an indigenous population that people were confused about. That's all we're saying.
You are not, hold up. First of all, you're not indigenous to America. You don't have a drop of indigenous blood. Your black asses from.
So what did Booker T. Washington mean? What did Frederick Douglass mean? What did the Bureau of American Ethnology mean? What did they mean? What does Brown.edu mean? What did Eastern Carolina University mean?
Booker T. Washington was half white right now, and he told darky jokes. You know, so the bottom line, he told us to compromise with white people. An Atlantic compromise. So don't let me say something I'm gonna really mean and regret. You know, don't give me it's Black History Month, right? I want to talk about it like that.
I started with Negroes de Terra. Because clearly you didn't believe when I said
what somebody said in the past, what twisted words around.
Okay, so Negroes de Terra. Negroes de Terra meant blacks of this land, right?
Black people, America. There's no black people indigenous to North America.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, here's my response to. Let's keep it for real. Let's try to keep it cool because I'm on here tripping.
The only group of people that say this are
hey family, hey caller, you made a great caller. Caller, pause, bro. Pause. Caller, let me respond to what you just said. Caller, let me respond to what you just said. You just said there's no blacks indigenous, and you're speaking about the Western Hemisphere. Am I correct?
I'm talking about the whole Western and particularly North America.
Okay, thank you. I get it. Now what I'm going to say is because you asked me a question when I first started, and then we got deflected.
Get to it. You're right.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so Negroes de Terra, the Brazil and the Portuguese and the Spanish also brought slaves from Guinea and Angola, and they called them Negroes de Gola and Negroes de Guinea. And they had and they had Negroes de Terra, which meant blacks of this land. Why did they call them blacks of this land? They were on the same plantation. Let me answer. No. I need you to answer that question, bro. Answer that question.
Hold on. I'm gonna answer the question. Mute him for a second, Dynasty, so I can answer this question. I'm gonna end this right here like this. You know, the bottom line is in the Western world, right? At one time they called Portuguese Guinea Negroes. You know, they called Southern Italians, Sicilians Negroes black. When they called Moors that weren't black were that Negro. The bottom line is there was no racial scientific definition of black. So in other words,
exactly.
Hold on.
So when they blended all those people and they mix them with Africans, they look like us, and they're just black.
Hold on. First of all, they called everyone that wasn't white black. They called Chinese black. Chinese is very much yellow, you know. So the bottom line is, when white people call you black, that's an insult. That's a slur. You know what I'm saying? We call somebody the black witch, the black queen, the black this, that, the other thing. Person can be white as snow. Have you heard the black plague? You know? So therefore, it's a descriptive term to denigrate people when you call somebody black. That don't mean
they did it along the color. They did it along a color line and a melanin spectrum. You're thinking these people were slow and didn't know the difference between a black person and a white person.
Bottom line is
you think they didn't know the difference between a black person and a white person in 1800?
No, they did not. There was no scientific.
No, I'm asking you, and just talk black to me. You think they didn't know the difference?
Hold up, black Africans came.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go. TH at the end of the day, okay, Blackfoot tribe, Black Omex, whatever you want to call it, outside of DVDs, conferences.
Bro, I have like 7 receipts right now.
Can I finish? TH, can I finish? But
if you're gonna lie and say we're not using receipts,
what I'm about to say is,
but are we using? Are we using receipts? Are there receipts that prove that they enslaved Indians and mixed with Africans?
I understand. Hold on, TH. I understand the end game. I get it.
No. Meaning, did they mix? Did they mix them with Africans? Were they mixed?
TH, shut up.
Did they mix them?
While I talk, okay? Shut up while I talk, okay?
Then you doing this, bro.
Okay, I don't.
Just because you think Indians were monolithic.
Why you could call yourself?
Just because you think they're monolithic.
You can call yourself Black Indian, Black Olmec, Black Cherokee, It don't matter.
No, now you're just moving. Now you're moving the goalposts. I'm keeping it very specific with Africans. The Africans were brought over. I'm not denying the slave trade.
It don't. Listen, whatever you want. The end game is DVDs. I mean, you guys are banging on wax, okay? You guys aren't going to rise up for your reparations. The shit's going to be kept on DVDs, conferences, and YouTube.
That sounds like wishful thinking from a non-foundational Black America.
You guys are
from a non-foundational Black American. That's expected. That's expected.
That's expected. Okay.
That's expected. But then you guys will come here and then reap the resources that we fought for. Got it.
But you don't control it.
Me and Dice
we don't control. You don't control it. It doesn't matter.
What you talking about?
It doesn't matter. You don't control it. It doesn't matter. All right.
And also, if anybody come here,
because if you were serious, if you're serious.
No. This is how it starts. This is how it starts. This is how we separate.
But if you see, this is the problem. You want to separate.
No. Just the same way you guys have like different tribes.
No. You want to separate.
No. In the same way you guys have different tribes.
Okay. Different tribes, right? Different tribes, right? You want to separate from other Africans, but you guys refuse. This is
no. We're just acknowledging our differences.
Okay, you're different. You're different. You're different.
I mean, true or false? True or false? True or false?
Okay, you're different. Okay,
true or false? True or false?
At the end of the day,
true or false? Because you acting weird admitting that. True or false? You acting weird not admitting it. True or false? True or false? No, true or false?
True.
Thank you. Okay, so we're a different ethnic group. Thank you.
You're a different ethnic group. At the end of the day, all right. You want to separate from other Africans, but the issue is
no.
And the fact, shut up. Just shut up.
Diane, put that button on.
Shut up.
No, yeah, Caller wants that. Caller definitely wants that. I know you want that.
Okay, hold up, but TH,
no, you're annoying.
And Khaled talked about this.
You're undermining.
Whole Lippis talked about this. Khaled has talked about this. You guys still refuse to separate from your slave master, the white man. So all this shit you talking doesn't matter.
What are you talking about? Separate? What are you talking about? We're prisoners of war. What are you talking about? We're prisoners of war, basically. What are you talking about?
You want to be permanent prisoners of war. There you go.
You can have your own ethnic state and Ethno-state in Africa, right? Niggas don't want that, and they don't want their own Ethno-state. You say most majority African American, ADOS. They don't want that. So the ADOS movement is phony. They don't want that African, which is an African American.
Yeah, ADOS is phony. You're right. ADOS is very phony.
They don't want to leave America, right? So they foundation themselves.
No, ADOS is phony.
Foundation America. They want to stay
FBA
in America around white Zad.
How is FBA phony if it's an ethnic group? How is an ethnic group phony? How is an ethnic group phony?
My thing is, if you guys want,
I just need an answer though. How is an ethnic group phony?
TH, at the end of the day, you want.
No. How does an ethnic group phony? Why are you running from that? You're running from that. How is an ethnic group phony?
Okay, just separate.
How is an ethnic group phony? I want to hear you on record. How is an ethnic group phony?
TH, build a nation of your own.
Okay, you hear you ain't answering that. I'm asking how is an ethnic group phony? I'm asking how is an ethnic group phony? No, it does matter. You said it's phony. You said it's phony. Did you say it was phony?
It doesn't matter. Be separate.
Nice. Let me ask you a question. If you believe that you are an ethnic group, right, in the way you guys say it, let's say
yes, we are. We are. Absolutely, we are. By the definition.
Now, hold up, right? Look at what Germans did when they declared themselves a German stand. You make a stand, right?
I'm just making sure y'all know we're a different ethnic group. Stop running.
Hold up. Switzerland is the land of the Swiss, right?
I don't care about Switzerland, bro. I'm talking about FBA is a different ethnic group. True or false?
Of the Scottish, right? You know, Afghanistan is a stand with Afghanistan.
Okay, I'm not gonna forget my question, bro. Hey, Kala, I'm not gonna forget my question, bro.
How come you guys don't want an ADOS stand or FBA stand? How come you don't have this is our land, our territory?
For the 10th time, what is phony about an ethnic group?
Yeah, but you don't have no land though, Nick, bro.
Okay, what is phony about no, that's not the answer. That didn't answer my question. I asked, what is phony about our ethnic? What is phony?
College just answered the question. College just answered the question.
I said, what is phony about our ethnic group?
You have no land.
Because they stripped it from us? That makes us not an ethnic group?
Go fight and take it back.
No, because they stripped it from us makes us not an ethnic group. So when they take our land, we now become not an ethnic group. Is that the logic I'm hearing? Is that the logic I'm hearing? Hey, when they take our land.
Hold on, where was the FBA land at? Where was it at?
They allocated 40 acres and a mule. That was gonna go from South Carolina to Florida.
Oh, so it was after the Civil War. I thought you were indigenous to this continent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look up Senecaville. Look at the Lenape tribe in New York.
Your land.
Look up where Flavor Flav and LL Cool J descend from.
You're telling me the ADOS and FBA.
Look up where Flavor Flav and LL Cool J descend from. They were here. They were in New York first. The Lenape tribe, yes.
Check us out.
Negroid features.
You're trying to tell me you found that your Black Americans had a land in America, right, that you controlled and everything, from top to bottom and everything, built cities, commerce, and everything like that, but there's no artifacts or record of it. Where was this land at? What
are you talking about? If they enslaved the indigenous people, the plantations were just their farms. Okay, did you know that plantations were just Indian farms that they took over? Wait. Do you know that plantations were just Indian farms they took over? Did you know that?
Again, go get your land back, bro.
I don't believe what I just heard.
No, I'm saying so FBA is a phony ethnic. We're a phony ethnic group.
Oh Lord, man! It's just, like I said, it's bad. It's worse than I thought it was, man.
But it's not
worse than I thought.
We're about to close.
No, I'm saying no. I understand the trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling.
Listen,
you're trolling. You're trolling.
I wish the best.
No, you said FBA is a phony ethnic group, right?
And get your land back.
FBA is a phony ethnic group.
Go get your land. Go fight for your land.
Good luck. Go ahead and get your land back.
Go fight your land, bro. Go fight your land.
Black American.
So we're not a unique ethnic group.
It don't matter. Go fight for your
land. No, it does matter. It does matter. Why does it not matter? Why does everybody want to just not make us them, but then we're not them?
Because again, at the end of the day, it's just banging on wax.
How is it banging on wax? If we have a different culture, we have a different culture.
Okay, it's entertainment. Great.
No, we have a different culture. What are you talking about?
No, but
when you think of cornbread, grits, turkey dressing, what food is that? Is that Black American soul food, or is that Thanksgiving food? Does it not sound familiar?
It's from the leftovers that the slave master left us, bro.
Oh, so they didn't have Indian women working the fields and doing the crops because the white people were dying here when they ran the plantations, and they didn't pair them with Negro males.
Okay.
And everybody says the hair thing. Oh, what's a straight hair? But they don't know that the dominant and recessive hair genes. You just have anybody with curly hair has sex with a straight hair. The baby gonna have.
All they want is identify with the light skin and good hair, man. Bro, get
yourself. No, that's a lie. Now you're lying. Now you're lying. Now you're lying. Now you're just intentionally lying. Now you're intentionally lying. I never said that. You're intentionally lying on purpose now. I never said that. 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 I'm saying we have Africans that were brought over and they were on the plantations. With that, Indians were the initial slaves here were the Aboriginal Americans, the initial slaves.
Oh Lord, man!
And then they kept adding. You can even look up the colored and Indian to find. This is how they switched it up.
Oh Lord, man, this is sad.
You can look it up.
Really sad.
How is it sad? An ethnic group.
It's sad, really sad. Bro. You are insane. Let me tell you something. You're not just sick. You are insane. If you,
is James Hugo Johnston insane? I'm asking you, is James Hugo Johnston insane? Is Frank H. Russell insane? It don't matter. These people are all insane. Booker T. Washington insane. Claude Anderson's insane. Neely Fuller's insane.
You keep name dropping other people, but what you just said.
But Brown.edu is insane. UC Santa Barbara is insane. Tariq Nasheed is insane. Everybody's insane. Frank H. Russell is insane. James H. Hugo Johnston, 1937, doctoral dissertation, Virginia State University. To the visitors in the South, the physical characteristics of many Negro slaves bore witness to the Indian origins. What did he mean by Indian origins?
TH, all that doesn't mean nothing if you're not.
Why not? Is it fact or is it true or false? Is it true or false? Is it true or false? Is it true or? I'm just asking, is it true or false?
It doesn't matter, TH.
Oh, because you can't. You can't say it's false, but you just won't accept that it's true.
No, TH. Again, at the end of the day.
I'm asking you. Did everything I read, was it true or false?
TH, at the end of the day, again, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you're not gonna rise up and take your land.
Okay, now you're trolling. I'm asking if it's true or false. I'm saying, so Frank H. Russell's lying, Claude Anderson's lying, Hugo Johnson's lying, all of them are lying.
Name dropping. That's
19th annual. Okay. No name. The 19th annual Bureau Report of American Ethnology.
One time tonight, anything I said, name drop, because I can stand on my own square. He just named
you weren't there. I'm talking to people that were there. I'm talking about people that were there. I'm talking about people that were there. You're talking about some stuff that you just like. You're 2022. I'm talking about 1897, 1705, where foundational Black Americans come
He's throwing
from.
out stuff and whatnot because we don't have the fact. We don't have the time, the facts, and everything.
Dude, that you can look. We're on Google. Google takes 2 seconds. Google, stop acting scary. Google takes 2 seconds, bro. That's not. That's a dumb excuse. That's a dumbass excuse, bro.
You know, the bottom line.
That's a dumb excuse, bro. You gonna say we don't have time, and you gonna sit here deflect? Everybody can Google this.
The bottom line, you throwing out name dropping and you're dropping out stuff like that. Right?
I'm asking you, are they lying? Are they all liars? Are they all liars?
You're a bunch of lies. You're lying.
TT, stop interrupting.
Who just? I don't even know who that was. Who are they all lying?
No, I mean, okay, guys, we're about to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. TH, I enjoy, you know, I enjoy the banging on wax. You know, it's entertaining. Let me know.
Thank you for not.
So until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Uhuru.
Peace.
FBA ADOS.
Let me say it again. Africa for Africans.
For Africa. All day.
Africans. You know, that's a sign. That's a sign.
All day.
So drop those
All
signs
day.
when you go out with Africa A for A. And let me people know. Let these fools and clowns out here with the nine. We're gonna win because the Pan-African network is just too strong. You know. And the bottom line is this. All our Nigerian brothers and everybody, we're on code with each other, man. We worry about these freaking fools. This is our opposition. This is our opposition. You know, you just heard tonight.
Yes, foundational Black Americans saying we're a unique and distinct ethnic group. Yes, we're so crazy for saying we're a unique and distinct ethnic group. We're so crazy.
This guy's a soldier.
We're so crazy. We're so crazy for saying we're a unique and distinct ethnic group. FBA is a unique and distinct ethnic group.
Okay.
Yo, to Carla, to TH, to everybody, I got love for everybody. African American, Jamaican, don't even matter who we are. Like, I just care about the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's all I care about. The truth and our children. Point blank, period. Because after this, our children got to carry the torch and they got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have our own battles. You know what I'm saying? As African people, African descent people, or whatever. Whatever this craziness is, I pray that we get over this obstacle. But this right here was a clear example and a clear, just display of what the hell we dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's unfortunate. If we didn't have this right here, how far we be right now? If these fools over the last 5 years came along, and 4 years when Black Panther came, that's when they really came out with a vengeance. They came after Diners. How dare you? He said he ain't going to Africa. And then Diners put up a bunch of videos. Oh, this nigga's been to Africa. You know, excuse my language.
Right.
They came after Diners like I was like, my poor brother Diners. All he's doing is taking some trips, saying he's searching for Uhuru, his culture and everything. Man, he was public enemy number 1. They created a whole movement based on what Diners was doing. You know, ADOS, FBA. It's sad.
And but all I gotta say is, Paula and Dynast, man, my brother, man, my heart, you know what I'm saying? From my heart,
Yeah, brother.
We love you, keep fighting, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Just nothing but love, nothing but like I just keep the strength going. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna win. Like, fuck the opposition. Excuse my language. Like, let's just keep going, man. You know what I'm saying?
One more comment for me.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
You know, I know it was a tough. I was supposed to get the rest of the thing. Like I said, look at that that African, the guy from Zimbabwe. He created a TV without
wireless, wireless electricity.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it.
That's our brother right there, man. He's down there. Them Zambian and Zimbabwean brothers be on point. You know, they're radical down there, man. They be, I got so many Zambian brothers down there, man, in the BAO and whatnot. Them brothers, you think they're a little too radical, man, because they be taking. I say, okay, we gotta slow down here. They take everything because they actually lived the stuff the white man, did to them, and everything.
Right.
So in English-speaking Africa, Zambians got their ass kicked. Same thing with Zimbabweans. So the bottom line is this: if you think this Pan-African was gonna go away, you think they're gonna they behind us 100%. They're our outlet over there. Our brothers over there, Zambia and Zimbabwe. And we support that brother out there. They got the thing. It doesn't matter if you're from Nigeria, you're African American, and everything. That's our brother and everything. Let's promote him, man. That's what the BAO is good for. We're all brothers in the bottom line. Forget all this stupid tribal sectional bicker and stuff like that. Yeah, we can have our own sets. You can be proud to be African American. You can be proud to be ADOS, whatever like that. But the bigger picture,
we're not saying don't. We're not saying don't be proud of being African American. It's just don't distort history. And at the end of the day, the African American has no say in who comes into the country.
Not
which
one say.
rules or
just deal with
not one say. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I get it. I understand where they're coming from. At the end of the day, you have no control on who gets to come into this country called America. And if you want to control, how about it's just like in NFL. Oh man, these white owners won't hire black coaches. Okay, y'all make up 70% of the league. How about just separate and start your own league? Oh, well, we can't do that. Oh man, these African immigrants are coming in. We want this, that, and other. Okay, well, you don't have any say on who gets what resources gets divvied out to who. How about you just separate and start a nation of your own? Oh, we can't do that. So it's just
that's what I'm saying. That was
right.
the answer. Yeah.
All right, okay, all right. Well, just sit here and complain and come up with a new acronym.
And
get on FBA tomorrow. Be something else next week. It's just all right.
People, they don't got no solution. They got no end game.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Go to Joe Biden and ask him to consider
Massa Biden, man. They're gonna go to Massa Biden.
Yeah,
they're gonna make another stand against Massa Biden. What are you gonna ask for this time, man? You already got their heads kicked in. Massa Biden. What are you Massa Biden gonna do for you?
Yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. Next.
All right, thanks, Dice, for
share,
hosting us. I know Dice is tired, man.
Yeah. I'm only doing 1 hour streams now. This is almost 3 hours. I gotta get out there.
African.
All right, for sure. All right, peace.
Yeah, man, all day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, brothers.
Bye-bye.